To another flow. To another flow.
Bună seara, oameni buni! Bună seara! Bună seara, băi!
Cinderella stories, phase, or whoever they want. I want to prove them that it's bullshit.
Bună seara, băi, băieți! Dați puțin că poate este pe YouTube la Blast. Blast Premier, poate? Și la ăștia. Ăsta e mai mare.
Has been leading up to this one side of the server. Apex said it himself. Heavy favorites coming into this arena, but on the other side, we have a Cinderella story in the making.
Foarte frumos mesajul pentru Apex. Foarte frumos.
Nobody can forget what happened in Boston, and I know that the Mongols, they're not from
Foarte
Mongolia,
frumos, da.
but I know for all America, we welcome the Mongols.
Apex. Uite, love you Apex, așa, bine mă, nu fac eu Apex,
They have the level in order to take it to Vitality. Can they beat what is currently the best team in the world? We've spoken about it already. Let's speak about win condition. Let's speak about what needs to happen in order for the Mongols to get it going. Sensu, big point of conversation, has had a fantastic playoff so far, but he's the one player that usually drops off the most. Now we know Mirage is coming up as the first map as well, and guess what? They're playing in
unde mi chat-ul? Unde mi chat-ul meu, bă?
Look like the better team, but guess what player didn't show up in that game as well? Sensu. I think the biggest playmaker tonight, the biggest difference the Mongols can show up with is Sensu. If he plays well, I see them have a chance.
A massive win condition for the side of
Bă,
Mongols.
chat-ul
As is
meu.
9-10, we've already talked about it, Maui, the fact that he is the highest rated player here in the playoffs, closely followed by Simon behind him. This is going to be a showdown for the ages in terms of the orbit.
I mean, 9-10, what he wants to do is take Vitality's lunch money, just like he did back in the land cafes in Mongolia, taking it from all the other fellow countrymen that he had. He's been a sharp shooter at these playoffs, and I feel like he is going to give absolutely everything to stick it to Vitality.
Well, we're calling them underdogs for a reason, because the odds heavily siding with Vitality. It makes sense, Jacob, but we love dreams here in NA. We're at least getting 3 maps in this grand final.
I would love to see 3 maps, and I think there is a chance. I think there's a chance with Mirage in particular. I was diving into the stats as well, and if there's one weakness when it comes to Vitality under Mirage, the T side they rely a lot on Saivu. He's the
Messi?
only
Unde-i
player who's
Messi?
gotten positive KD in the
Băi,
last 3
Messi,
months
unde-i
on the grass.
Messi?
So if Saivu is not playing well, the Mongols have a chance.
Say
Messi.
everything's bigger in Texas and the
Unde-i
stakes don't get
Messi?
any
Unde-i
bigger than
Messi?
this. It's time to
Unde-i
kick off the
Messi?
major grand final.
Uitați-mă ce statui frumoase sunt aici. Le-am văzut astea când jucam Navi cu Vitality, dar am jucat foarte prost. Deci, Navi... Deci am jucat foarte, foarte rău Navi cu Vitality. Asta este, acum suntem în finală. Asta e Donk. Asta e Donk.
Do you remember your first setback?
Asta nu știu cine. Ok, Carrigan, frumos.
I remember those moments you wish you could forget.
Asta îi Frozen? Parcă ăla de la tot aici, cred că e Frozen.
The moments
Sau
when you had
Brocky,
done
parcă?
everything and
Tot
it
de la
wasn't
vezi.
enough.
Uite pe Alexi. Forța.
But I was there when that got better. The happiness.
Asta îi Torzi, parcă? Torzi?
Breaking through the barrier you didn't know
Na,
was
ăla e
there.
Chop. Nu e Chopper. Sau?
I saw
La
you
Furia.
improve.
Na, nu știu pe ce de la Furia. Ăsta e de la MONGOLZ sau de la Legacy.
I saw what you could do.
Așa. O, simple, regele. Sasha.
And I remember when you
Sasha. Mateo, Zau.
I remember that through all the odds stacked against you, you found a way. Every
Donk.
last second
Uite,
of
Chopper.
years,
Nu.
every friendship made.
Spun minciuni. Ăla nu e Chopper, ăla e unul de la Furia. Mai mult ca sigur că ăla e unul de la Furia. Sunt foarte, foarte sigur.
Will they
Stați puțin totuși să văd ceva. Stați. Stai liniștit că o să vedem transmisia de la Major. Stați să liniștiți că nu o să avem
10
nimic
of
de
the world's greatest players stand before you. They have nowhere to run and they have nowhere to hide. Tonight, we will watch them fight with their dreams on the line. Austin, Texas, pay close attention. Do you feel it? Your heart pounding with anticipation. That shiver down your spine. Counter-Strike lives within us.
Ok, gata. Ai de capul meu. Bă, am un gândar. Aveam ceva. Nu știu, aveam pe monitor. Let's go, MONGOLZ! Moto! Fuck! Oh, game on! Care e prima hard? Mirage, prima hard! Mirage, prima hard! Băi,
Somebody flies home a
băi.
champion. Somebody goes home destroyed.
Băi, prima hard!
Everybody
Băi.
woke up today thinking this was their chance.
Uite, auzi, pe mei. Let's go, MONGOLZ.
Flames need to pick it off the
Deci mongolezii au niște fani foarte...
and it's an A site that's gonna get
Prea frumoși fani, n-am ce să zic. Sunt prea fani și prea...
still just getting them stuck.
Ui. Hai, Blitz, bine, Hai, Senzu, hai.
QB2.
Adică gen știi cu Vitality, gen... Nu țin cu mai nimeni, deci...
But that bomb is gone. What do you have in the clutch? 9-10
Ok.
early on.
Ok, 9-10, ok.
In the 1-on-2, the guy who
1v2 cu
logs on to
Apex
the
și
least
Robs,
hours of
ok.
anybody else on this map, the least trophies.
Ok,
the least
Robs,
experience in
ok.
this situation,
Hai să vedem pe 90.
and one of the most amazing
O să facă.
runs for
Vreau
someone
să
of
facă
his
domnul
stature in
90.
this playoffs.
They let him have that
Bomba
space.
s-a dus. Ok,
Bombs planted, Glocks up.
plantat. Bine,
No
Robs.
kit for the two players. Robs takes a look before Apex
Ah.
arrives. Robs knows how to win. That is why he's here. That's why
Da.
Vitality have made it. And so first round
Bă,
goes the way of the
ați văzut că
favorites.
90 avea ceva pernă acolo în spatele la el.
Decorated, and
Nu
somebody
pot
who
să dau
said,
înapoi, n-am.
If we're going to lose a match, don't let
Avea
it be
ceva
this one.
pernă acolo în spate,
They
ați
got
văzut?
this far. The
Cred
only
că de
player on the
confort
server
mai
that's
mult.
been in every single
Bă, ce bine au
game
jucat
two
ei,
games
bă,
now.
au jucat destul de bine pe A.
But also,
Dacă ar fi venită și bomba, poate aici Robs pe Senzu și a luat și aici pe ăștia, pe 90.
in the last two, we saw Spirit, we saw Navi. This is their
Da.
best chance yet. But what we have to understand about the Mongols is they've been a top 5 team this
E,
entire
acum
season.
au toți
They
sau
are one of 6
pe
teams that
Apex și-o
have
luat
taken a
Fama,
mark off of Vitality
nu
this
știu de ce
season.
face eco, la fel și Flamesy face eco și cred că și Messi.
That's what makes this veto
A puțin
incredibly
Zaiu și
difficult.
Robs,
They had that
te
opt-in
explică
hit
de
with
ce,
Mirage.
cei mai buni
They're
din
leaning
echipa
into
aia.
their strengths. They've been very good
În
on
afară
this
de
map here in playoffs.
că Flamesy și Messi literalmente sunt
Within this
niște
playoffs, we saw
renari,
Flamesy have a bit of an off first half within Mirage, then be able to kick it back up a notch for the attack. Every single piece of Vitality better come to play, because that's the one difference between this Mongols and the Mongols you've been watching all
O
year long.
să-i ia prin surprindere.
Finally piecing it together in a playoffs.
O să mai ia prin surprindere pentru că o dat
And it was a
smoke de
slow start
window.
versus Pain on
Foarte
this very
bine
same map.
executat, n-am ce să
Didn't
zic.
seem to shake them. They waited it
Acum
out. They
boost.
won a clutch,
Ok, au
and from that
făcut
point
un
on,
boost acolo
13 rounds
foarte
straight.
bun. O să
Right
poată
now,
lua pe
Apex, better be
Apex
careful.
foarte prin
Inside
surprindere.
that smoke reside a couple players. He doesn't like
Ia o
that.
să le ia prin
He'll go back,
surprindere,
get
dar
away
din
from
păcate
Mirage
nu l-a
and
mai
get a
luat
little
din
bit of an
surprindere.
expedition over towards the ramp.
Feels like he's in purgatory right now. We got Flamesy
A văzut deja
trying
pe
to
1990.
smooth out this angle.
De fapt, l-a
Couple of
simțit.
good fights coming the way of Vitality.
Da, da,
First
da,
one,
da,
Apex
foarte,
wins.
foarte frumos,
Zaiwu
n-am ce
then
să zic.
catching good timing inside
Uite pe
the
Zaiwu
net,
cu
knows that the pick
fragul.
could be inbound. Blitz is going to try to recover this.
Oh.
Again,
Oh.
a wall bang frag off that upgraded pistol. Do what you must
Enzino.
to try to break down this A defense. but it
Nu,
looks like
Blitz.
it's gonna stand tall.
Blitz.
Timing on the peak from Apex, and Vitality convert this
Ai,
one, with
Blitz.
Maturity still alive.
Yeah, he was a little bit everywhere this round.
Ai, 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 Blitz, bă, ce-a făcut acolo Blitz. Mzino. Mzino, nu Blitz, băi.
Vitality stayed vigilant. That's why they got those kills.
Mzino a jucat bine acolo, i-a luat. Uite, ai văzut? Bă, deci l-a luat pe la prin perete.
We're gonna have Mongols
Nu
chance
știu
in
cum l-a
building
simțit.
tonight.
Dacă nu s-ar fi
And the
uitat
reason is-
Blitz pe acolo, pe spate.
As someone from North America, we can all relate to being an underdog in Counter-Strike.
Producing, ok.
Feels like every
Alien,
region outside of Europe
Văd că
can
acum
rally behind the
sponsorizați și
Mongols
ăștia,
for that
cred că.
reason. They defeated Pain on
Eți
the
iară
road.
cu Famasul, văd că îi place
We
mult
saw it
Famasul,
happen
nu
between
știu de
the
ce.
Brazilian scene and
Nu știu de ce.
Chinese teams here in Austin.
O,
Goes
techno,
beyond the
techno,
borders.
techno,
Desert Eagles across the
techno,
board for this
să
one.
fie
Single
bun.
tech 9. They take their time with it. But
Ai de capul meu, oh, oi, 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 oi.
Slaughter, barring any
Bine,
single
Mzino.
Palace, unfortunately doesn't have a bomb to go with that.
Bă, ce buni ești
Could've got the
mongolezii
points off,
ăștia,
could've got
man.
the funds going.
Oh, Mzino, oh, l-a văzut pe Apex.
Looking sharp.
He's grabbed a couple of skulls. Better gun now. Bomb not
Văzut
in a good
deja.
spot. Vitality
Bun, dar acum
gonna try to
are-
kill. They have gotten
Că mai au o bombă
1v3
de
at
recuperat.
this event. They have made a couple of mistakes
FP.
early on in the game.
Mic,
But I think all that's to
deci,
sharpen them up.
oi,
Carlos has got it
la
cut
Robs.
down.
Eu câștigat runda Vitality.
There we go. Mongols playing against the best team in the world and drawing the comparison back to the last time we were in America at Boston. Cloud9 were a top 6 team. They played against FaZe. These guys were the most
Putea
stacked
cu
roster
tricourile cu
at the
Mongols.
time in terms of legendary players still near their prime or in
Bă,
their
dar
prime.
ce bine o luam
But
aici
they didn't have a streak
Apex
like
pe...
Vitality have. They have these 7 trophies in a row. That's what they're looking for.
Da. De ce și-a aruncat M4?
Ahead of this playoffs, Mongols only had 4 playoff matches. One throughout their
De
endeavors.
ce și-ar arunca M4 aia așa, a aruncat-o
Cut shy so
foarte
many
easy.
times, but let's see if guns make a difference. Game begins here, round 4.
A, le-o dați 2 și Inferno Decider-ul. Deci văd că e best of 3, numai nu e best of 5, ok. Am înțeles.
Goldilocks zone right there between
Am înțeles.
Molly and the smoke.
MZ nu o să fie omorât de
Coutinho,
Robs
he's been
foarte
hitting
ușor.
some very intriguing
Acolo.
shots.
And good timings.
Nu-i face un pic MZ, dacă nu-i face un pic Robs, e mort.
Ops not to swing wide, Blitz getting ever closer. Bomb starting
Rost
to get inbound as
nu
well.
l-a
Techno
auzit.
simultaneously taking a
Nu
bit
l-a
on the other
auzit,
side.
ca să vă dați seama ce
Maybe hoping to keep Vitality busy, but they stay
ment
active.
are domnul
Yeah, it
Robs.
seems like they're fully aware of the setup now. Actually, Mzinho is taking.
Cu
he's
freza
already
nu trebuie să
past
cam
the
vine domnul
offline.
Robs,
He knows
da,
that
e...
no one's there on
aia e
the
partea a
site
doua.
watching. This helps Blitz as well.
E
He's over in the
90,
watchtower
ok.
at the moment. I think the CTs don't know if they're. Let's say
Ah.
to make sure.
Again, you know, we've seen little tidbits of timings from both
Yeah.
teams. Vitality keep just stepping into the action.
Mamă,
Right when
bă, ce
Mongols
skin avea! Care era ăla? Bă, Titan Holo parcă, cred. Da, eu credeam înainte că astea skin-urile lor, dar nu le cumpără numai pentru... Uite și pe ăsta cu Techno cu aibă Power Holo. Deci le împrumută pentru Major și salutare la persoana în chat. Le împrumută pentru Major și după aia le dau înapoi sau cred că le împrumută pentru totdeauna, nu știu că le împrumută pentru competiții. Pentru că nu poți să mergi la Major cu AK default și cu M4 default. Nu pot, nu arată bine la ochi, oh! 90! 90! Oh! Blitz! Mamă, mongolezi, ce echipă mare de mongol! Ce echipă mare, mongolezi! Ce echipă mare, uite underdog aici, așa o să fie mongolezi. Bă, dacă nu pierd 2-0, că acum pierd un aviv.
Blitz gets the really key frag right here. Connector control is what it's all about when you're going to go for the A split.
L-a luat Blitz, să aibă și pe Rops.
Position of getting to safe zones.
Hai să beau apă pentru că
Zeus joining us in the front row.
Let's go Mongols. Let's go Mongols. Let's go Mongols. Let's go Mongols! Let's go Mongols! Let's go Mongols! Hai mongolezi mei, hai! Noi și eu din Asia, dar vin serios, cine ar vrea să câștige Vitality Major-ul? Bine. Și Vitality merită, deci cu 30 win streak-ul, peste 35 de victorii. Nu chiar ca și Ninja Sim Pijama cu 5-5, dar îl știe, Mamă, cum stă Zaiu!
This guy's just watching Palace for him right now.
Rops.
Did they get the bomb on the way or not? They didn't. Oh, he dropped it. He did not get the bomb.
La pe Mezi, oh, ce cap! A nu-l omoară! Și! Ai. Asta e runda lui. E runda la mongolezi. E runda la mongolezi. Asta e runda la mongolezi. Oh, Flamesy. Unde s-a dus, bă, bomba? Bă, bomba! Smart. 9000 IQ. Vreau să planteze pe B. Blitz. Bine, mongolezi. Bine, mongolezi. Bă, dar statuile alea cred că au... Ok, bârâbă.
Bomb drops the way to face.
Pot doar să fac.
Looks right at the ladder room. Very awkward moment. They didn't get the 2 kills and entries on the B site.
How tall is the screen on the stage? Austin Major. The screen on stage is not specified.
Now, Vitality will have to get creative. Should be clear as day.
Hai de cap, ok, ChatGPT o să mă ajute. ChatGPT-ule! Hai, ChatGPT, hai mă, mai repede. Davai, hai. Bă! Hai mă, doar măsoară pentru mine, știi? O să fii drăguț și o să măsoare.
There's going to be certain benchmarks in this game to believe that it's even possible Vitality.
Hey!
And MONGOLZ even tying the game at any point as well.
Hey! Wow! Ok, hai să nu facem hate. Deci... Hey!
I feel like I'm back in Paris.
Hey!
Except it's better because there's way less French people.
Dă-ți mai puțin. Ok. Finally met approximately 8 la 12 metri.
But just as many French fries.
Yeah.
Deci 8 la 12 metri. Blast,
3-3.
Major,
That's not small. We saw
Austin,
Mongols start 5-0 down versus Spain, came back, won 13 rounds in a row.
Statues, Stage.
No offense, pain to vitality.
Deci dacă stage-ul ăsta are 8-12 metri, deci ăsta are 8-12 metri, înălțime, astea au deci 12 metri. Au vreo 11 metri cel puțin, 11 metri, 10 metri este acolo. Așa intră viewerii. Ok, case closed, deci mă întrebam cât de înalte statuile alea. Cât de înalte pot să fie statuile alea? Acum văd, e 3-3 pentru Mongol, e 3-3 egal. Ok, very interesting. Dar stați puțin, trebuie să revin, o să vă las să meargă.
Those are your A players from connector back to the bomb site. Mzinho up close, gets his head ripped clean off. Flamesy already on the multi-kill. A little bit of a delay here from the Palace peak, but it is going to come in time. Flamesy going above and beyond. Triple kill so far. Dropped 15 health here for Blitz. And a first frag needed by Mezzi in a clutch. Blitz scours the battlefield, will not find the timing on the peak. And the Brit posts one when needed.
Yeah, as the last man standing, we can lean on Mezzi to create lots of moments like this.
Bun.
Set up 1v1 in his favorite splits without the
Salutare la persoană în chat.
But he's going to be rotating over and have to pull off some clutch.
Stați un pic, eu nu prea înțeleg ce se întâmplă. Deci încă 3-3.
That move from Zaiwu totally changes things. It was an
Oh,
unanswered
3
trade to
persoane,
kick things
salutare,
off for
salutare.
Mongols until Zaiwu just found a way to do it himself.
Au câștigat Vitality, așa-i? Câștiga runda. Normal că câștigă Vitality, dar de ce nu?
Mongo's gonna jump on this. Zaiwu music
Informații,
coming. Blitz
informații.
slides down, distracted by the
Oh, bine, Blitz! Bine! Nu, stai, mă bucur am bătut echipa greșită. Oh, hai, vine! Hai, Rob, mori. Pur și simplu mori, Rob. Hai, Techno. Hai, Techno. Nu, de acolo, Moliu. Oh. Hai! Techno cu Mozi. Techno cu Mezi. Techno cu Mezi. Techno cu Mezi. Techno cu Mezi! Bine, mă! Este majorul mongolezilor, vă zic eu. Majorul ăsta o să fie câștigat de mongolezi. Da, așa, și eu zic. Worst tracker. Okay.
For that first kill. 1v2 to close. Keeping this game close. We often see
Bine, mongolezilor, băi.
but here we are in the major grand final. And his first clutch of the night.
Mamă, Robs, trage în gol. Așa cum lucrează și el în gol.
They asked Blitz on the desk, how would you describe Techno? First thing he said, this is my brother.
Nu cred că o să fie bine, nu cred că o să iasă bine.
No easy rounds here for the Mongols. 5v4 already.
Ai de capul meu. O, bine.
Look who's there. No one is in B. Bomb gets away safe. They'll run it down.
O să ne dă la tot majorul, să trebuiască să stăm prin pauze, prin tot. Memzino, cum ratezi tu flashbang-ul ăla, țucuț. Țucuț. Fă și de-aia tale, bine, Zenzu. Îți doi pe el, Imezi cu Rops. Mai vine acum și... O, poate este o șansă, Poate este o șansă, haide, bine, mă, uai! Bine, Zenzu, bine! Apex, ești cam mort. Ești cam mort, băi.
Journey for the Mongols. It's truly a tale of rags to
Bine, mă! Asta am vrut să văd. Asta am vrut să văd, mongolezilor. Here the horse they go, Mongols. Ia uite, bă, ce semnate erau la mine.
This is the eagle that kicked it off.
Hai de cap, meu. Mongolezii, bă, ce echipă mare, mă, mongolezii ăștia. Bă, mongolezii ăștia o să bată totul, bat tot ce văd. Hai, mongolezilor, deci mongolezii mereu, cum ieșeau din grupe, deci în grupe distrugeau tot, nu pierdeau un meci în grupe. Maxim o hartă ce pierdeau. Bă, cum ieșeau din grupe? Bă, literalmente gata, zici că nu mai jucau, zici că jucam eu. Cum ați lăsat acolo o gaură mică, man. Mi-ați lăsat un loc perfect, să spargă smoke-ul și Zaiu acolo. Nu a făcut bine.
What's the curdle defense? You got no one in ladder room again, even though you've got 5 CTs up. They're playing on the perimeter, sort of.
Gonna be able to really find these players though, hitting inside of this B site,
Nu mă
floating around the bench, get early damage on the Senzu. Will clean that one up. He's trying to set up all the distractions so that Bobs can do what he does. Hit you from the side. He'll do exactly that. Dropping bomb in the process. B site held. B site holds real strong. So with a repetitive success story down towards A, we get a resurgence from Vitality.
Last series they played was so close. Ended 13-11. Mongols and Blitz, when asked what he thinks about this final, he's not someone to tell jokes. Said it's about 50-50 in his head. And if you watch the last series, it was 50-50. It was extremely close game.
Cel mai probabil discută cu
The streak almost ended there.
What you're looking at right now is Counter-Strike, folks.
Cred că one pixel undeva cam... Nu, aici ridică e trofeul.
Mara and Xtaz. Trying to keep everybody's nerves under wraps.
Nerves may be a conversation that comes into play. We'll see when and where. But for now, we see the Mongols open up after getting crushed and collapsed versus FaZe last stage into playing them in playoffs where you think
Ia uite, mă, ce nervoși sunt ăștia, nu știu
and standing up
to all of their previous losses,
sort of undignified exits, whether it was Shanghai or some of the other events that they played, stood up to it all, played their best yet. Round 11, we're talking about 2 AKs here for the Mongols.
Yes, sir, off the tack pause, don't forget it. Kind of plan is in place. Apex was the result of a few early deaths. Still has a great scoreline. Zaiwu's taking up that space left in middle. This time doing it on his own. He floats back into safety.
Crazy how many unsupported kills that Zaiwu has gotten by himself in these mid-round moments. Sort of mysteriously appearing in the window, testing a smoke on a certain timing.
Poate să câștige oricine vreau ei, pentru că eu o să urlu și o să țin cât mă țin plămânii, pentru că, oh nu, o câștiga Vita, bine Blitz. Apex.
Apex in that pregame says he wants to be remembered as the greatest in-game leader to ever do it, that he wants to be the player with the most trophies.
Who is Apex?
Here it comes, the full attack. The actual rotation from Vitality is incorrect. We got...
Unde-i Apex?
No support elements whatsoever, just Mezzi singly sitting here. Sure, pistols
and
push ahead of that bomb, but it's also a question about joining up with the cat hit that eventually Senzu's going to put in place.
Bă, cât sus acolo, o intra pe Mezzi, o intra pe Messi și pe Robs, o intrat bine. O juca foarte bine, o juca foarte bine, Așa, Flamesy, îi Mezzi, Mezzi.
No one can say they aren't playing their best right now. That was 2 AKs coming into this round versus the world's best.
Mezzi e Mezzi.
An opening kill that definitely delayed the rotation from Robs as well, who we see fall inside the market. Oh, glimpse of it there for Mzinho, so he knows to be on high alert, but what a reaction.
Oh.
Wow.
yeah, from Mezzi's POV seemed impossible.
That is grass-fed American beef.
Mezzi wants to take a bite for sure.
Doesn't have a head to do it. One Desert Eagle shot. So now already we're seeing Vitality lose to straight up gun rounds. Vitality lose Zywoo in the middle of the map, lose to pistols.
One major back, obviously Senzu wasn't there, but you know who was? Mzinho. In that playoff game on Ancient, it was Mzinho who looked like he was unaffected. The player that looks like he plays well beyond his years.
Ooh.
Again, they're going to try to float around top mid. His body's here at 9-10, but he's gone. So if you want to chase him, it's a bit too late. We'll have that mid control, frees up Robs to lean forward. When we saw Flamesy struggling as the A anchor in a previous playoff game, that is exactly when Robs started to take over the responsibility of the site. And seeing as Mongols have won rounds on this half of the map, look at the justification behind this stack up. Zywoo is not a part of the hold though. And so Vitality are going to have to prove that they can do it without Lilu. He will take his sweet time on this flank.
Ok, no, mamă, ce bine au jucat utilitățile. Ce bine au jucat nade-urile. Oh, Flamesy mort. Bine, Robs mort. Îl pe Apex. Bine. Dar n-a apucat să planteze. Și îl mai apă Zywoo. Zywoo și Mezzi. Zywoo și Mezzi. Zywoo și Mezzi. Zywoo mort. Zywoo mort. Mezzi, bine, Techno. Bă. Bă, ce mă cu echipa asta? Bă, ce mă echipa asta, man? Ce mă cu echipa asta?
We're here at the Alienware booth inside the Moody Center, and for anyone that is visiting the major, you can come here yourself and test out these amazing setups using the latest Alienware technology that I'm sure you want to be able to try. Because right now we've got Mouse's Yimfat with us over here, FaZe's Elige, and they're going to be having a 1v1. We're going to be testing out the QD OLED. It's a 27-inch monitor coming out from Alienware, and it is looking crispy, it's looking fine. We're going to put it to the test in a 1v1 with some of our best players. So let's get into it. You guys are ready?
Yep. I'm ready.
Hands on the mouse. Be prepared. So we're playing some arena. Elige, you have a bit of experience with these monitors, right?
O să dăm mai încet, sincer. Hai să văd LG TV 75 pentru... Bine, ok, deci 58% au votat că o să... The Major Trophy weighs more de 50 de kilograme. Holy shit. This is going to be first ever major winner. King Mezzi. Iată se văd pixul ăsta. Și cred că deja tocmai ce mi-am dat leak la 3-1 playoff secure, 2 versus Navi, inimă. Navi, Valorant. Au Valorant. Au Brawl Stars. Mai timp, bro. Deja mergem la Brawl Stars. Deci de pe LG TV am ajuns la Mezzi, de la Mezzi la Navi. Și de la Navi am ajuns la fucking Navi Brawl Stars. Ce s-o blurat. Ok, bun. Ok, foarte... De ce îi Elige Kill? Why is FaZe Player Eligible. Nu a dat subscribe la mine și știți că eu înainte aveam ceva subscriber, bald și da.
I'm so jealous if you get to do that because this is looking fantastic right now. So good luck, have fun. Make sure you comment down here.
Ah.
Ce
vreau el. Ai, bun. Na. Începe următorul show. Eu am văzut acolo umbra, deci acolo Mezi a avut un dezavantaj foarte mare, că eu s-a văzut umbra. Saltare la persoană în chat, saltare. Deci a avut un dezavantaj și uite-l mă pe ăla. Quando che tem Zino pa tutti. Ah, stai să dau mai tare.
What Mongols failed to do
It's
every
the
time they
production
meet
team.
Vitality.
Ia uite-i.
Oh,
Production team-ul, ia uite-i bă.
Working tirelessly
Asta.
for these last few weeks.
All night long last night.
Bun.
What Mongols failed to do was win their map pick. They could win Nuke, but that was always Vitality's pick in the series.
La 16 ani, cum e Mzino și să câștigi un major.
Fast moves from Vitality though. One of the things in the kickoff
Foarte
of their T-side will be Flamesy on the entries, but a well-timed flashbang stopped it for a
Ah!
second. Little recoveries, we go two
Lăsa numai
kills
lău
each.
acolo.
Senzu tries to find contact off cap. Blitz is gonna go alone. Never mind, excuse me. Him and Techno just split up, moving over so close together. And it kind of frazzles Flamesy out of his preferred post-plant position. Bomb down behind triple. They're gonna try to push it. Senzu for a second.
Yeah, they've crawled up. Senzu, if he stays alive, we'll see.
Ticket players start to get that retake going. They have really closed the
Oh! Bine! Bine, mă! Ai, asta vreau să văd pe mongolezi. Bine, mă, mongolezilor! Bine, mă! Asta vreau să văd. Meci ușor, 2-0, foarte easy. Foarte easy. Am crezut că e best of 5.
Here in this major final. A far cry from the Mongols we're used to seeing in playoffs.
Uite, Flames e eliminat. Apex gata și Messi.
Vitality are a team that have been tested. They've been tested many times, whether it was in the best of five, in those individual series, in their past ones versus the Mongols. The simple fact that they have not lost. There was such a big difference from a lead and a victory. 1AK comes in this round on Zaiwu.
Zaiwu currently sitting negative.
I-a dat damage? Deci nu pot să cred că i-a dat damage la Blitz cu smoke. Cum îți iei damage la un smoke? Apex, ce faci? Așa, stă să se gândească, așa, stați în bază și timpul să scurge și papa rundă. Papa major,
said this crowd wants a Cinderella story and he's here to prove that all that's bullshit. How's it feel now? 3-round lead over top of Vitality.
Considering the stat that's coming forward, there is going to be one player isolated.
Mai ales la major.
Significant actually utility advantage to Vitality as they come onto the site.
Foarte.
And Zeno, can he really stop this? 910 gets comfortable inside smokes as well.
Yeah, trying to lock it in. There doesn't look like there's fire here for 910.
Bine.
He'll find Messi's head instantly. Palace player delayed for a second.
Bine. Bine. Oh, bine. Bine. Bine, mă! Asta vreau să văd. Asta, foarte ușor, eu v-am zis. Papa Apex. Pa, bă, mamă, bă, uitați-vă, bă. Foarte ușor, mongolezilor. Hai să vă câștigați majorul. Primul vostru major în mongoli.
How often would you get locked up in
Bă,
this
dar cum
position?
a făcut aici, bă, a făcut acolo.
Wide for this. He knows there's going to be multiple players on the screen, but they come to help him. He hits that freight transfer, and Mongols hit 9.
Getting double digits should now be easy. We're talking upgraded pistols for Vitality without Kevlar. 3 players behind it.
Oh, bine, 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 ușor, ușor, ușor.
From an Opper who is making a highlight reel with rifles, but he's going to get caught by this.
Oh, bine, Senzu!
Senzu will pick it up. And when set to hit that top
Bine,
rope,
mă!
he's gonna
Cine-i Vitality? Ce echipa asta? Bine, mă! Hai, 3 runde, încă 3 runde. Da, mă, da. Da, mă, da. Bine! Bine, mă,
17
Mongolz.
frags in
Bine,
this major
mă.
final.
Hai de capul meu.
From a total collapse of the last major.
Hai de capul meu.
Winning positions at this one.
40 de minute deja de live. Depășim 2 ore. Eu zic că nu depășim 2 ore. Eu zic că nu depășim.
The question was, when would they find the breakthrough? Mentally, it's the hardest part of the game. It's the other half.
Mamă, un time. Bă, cât de time am făcut Vitali. Înainte de Iha!
Picking up a
Iha!
trophy every year. And now, pushing towards that era.
Hai de capul meu, bă, deci...
Mongols are the youngest team
Mongolezii
here, so
ăștia
you think maybe they take an extra couple of years.
Domină
Maybe
mongolezii,
one more
domină.
roster
Ia
move.
uite, ăștia,
No, it looks
ăștia,
like they found their
domineze tot, domină
Or
tot.
if they really got lucky,
Tot
maybe
ce
at the
văd,
start of the second
cum ar,
half of
hai,
this
hai,
year.
90, hai, 90, hai.
A little more time to
Foarte
figure out vitality is what we thought
ușor.
everybody needed.
Foarte ușor, 90. Foarte ușor, bine, 90, Apex mort, bine.
Sidelined early yet
Ăștia doi.
again.
Apex și Zai, Flames și
Through
Mezi.
their first gun round on their
Toți
T
s-au
side.
făcut.
Vitality had a high hope of doing the exact same, and if you want to do it now, it's off
Bine,
this
hai.
4v5.
Even though Apex isn't the top fragger on the team, taking out the IGL, especially someone like Apex, such a big voice,
Ah,
calling from dead is so
fuck you,
difficult.
Apex.
If there's someone you want to tilt, it's Apex. I don't think it's easy to do, but
Apex. Fuck you, Apex. Bine.
Flamesy is somebody who people have referenced past teammates as he could be the next IGL on the team. He can be the
Bine.
second biggest voice.
Nu-l
He
nimerit.
didn't have
Iar așa de
the
bine, da.
maturity or the experience,
E bine și
but
așa.
he's gotten there now.
Ia uite.
45 seconds, top con smoke goes down, gives him a little room to
Îi
work
țin
with.
așa,
So
îi țin așa bine 90.
he's got other ideas, and nothing comes from
Bine,
play
90.
at the moment.
Hai,
No, these shots are filthy.
hai 90.
Right back to the top of Tiki, he'll go. They're going to try to slam their way through it. Over top of the staircase goes the bomb. Still just stuttering out.
Bine, Mezi.
Puts that M4 right against the
Ultimul.
smoke.
Robs,
There seems to be
Robs.
no open room. There seems
Unde-i Robs? Unde-i Robs și Zaibu? Unde-i Robs și Zaibu? Nu există need an ambulance. O să trebuiască un avion privat să zboare înapoi în Franța. Înapoi. Înapoi de unde a venit 11-5. Bă, mongolezii ăștia vă distrug. Vă distrug. Ia uite, bă.
It is
Ce
constant
bine o să
pressure.
spart acolo
It is
smoke.
fearless counter-strike being weaponized
Uite.
against the world's number one.
Bă, eu nu cred că depășim 2 ore de live.
11-5 for the Mongols.
We saw Mao's embarrass Vitality on the second map of that semifinals, but we thought to ourselves that was the team who has the most reps
Oh,
against
eco round,
Vitality.
băieții mei de la Vitality. Cred că știi ce se întâmplă. Bine, bine 90.
9-10 hits another.
Bine 90, mamă!
And so this space
Bine, mă! Hai de capul meu! Bă, ce bine știe să joace copilul ăsta, bine! Și Ace-ul lui! El e 90! El e 20! El e 90! Ăsta îi 90-le nostru! Ăsta îi, mă! N-aveți ce să spune! Nou simple! Mamă! Ce overtime! Ce overtime! Uite ce ace! Uite ce ace! Uite ce ace! Nici nu s-a complicat! Nici nu s-a complicat! Nici nu s-a complicat, mă! Fac picioarele alea că s-a complicat.
With history upon history on the
Hai,
line,
dați câștigați!
you know who to call.
double up setup comes up for the two players with 19 kills apart.
2 AVP-uri, 19 și Senzu. Hai, câștigați prima hartă, hai! Hai, câștigați prima hartă, hai!
It is a rare sight to beat Vitality in a map. It's another to embarrass them.
Știu că puteți. Știu că puteți, hai!
They
Hai,
rose to
90,
the
hai,
floor
90,
today with
ajută să câștige
confidence.
prima hartă. Ajută să câștige prima hartă. Hai.
Those grins
Hai.
drained from
Hai
their
90,
faces.
hai 90, hai.
We're going to get another pop-up through connector. Is there any chance that Vitality make this a game? Is there any chance that they avoid total collapse in the face of the Mongols? Mirage their map pick, and you can see the confidence. You can
Blitz! Blitz!
yet again into that kill feed.
Oh, 90, bine, 90. Bine, bine, sensul, bine, sensul! Bine! Și! Ultimul kill! Ultimul kill, bine! Asta îi! Prima hartă, prea ușor, mă! Prea ușor! Bine! Unde e Apex? Hai de capul meu! Papa! Papa Vitality! Dați 2 vine. Vine dați 2-ul. Acolo.
Techno, unbelievable first map. What is it like sitting right there, playing the way you are, with everyone here cheering for the Mongols?
Well, it feels so amazing. In the end, we won the first map, but the match is not done yet.
It's not done yet, so I'll let you go. Thank you very much, Techno. Still one more to go. It's not done yet, but talk about a fearless face from the Mongols on map number 1. I am simply stunned, Maui, to put it up not only to the world number 1s like that from the Mongols. First time they've managed to take that map pick versus Vitality, and they do it on the most grand of stages.
I am stunned. I am flabbergasted. I'm downright shocked that the Mongols came out with that much force. That was an unbelievable show of skill and show of nerve. The fact that the whole story with Senzu for the entirety of the last 9 months has been, when is he going to get it together against top teams in the world on big stages? And he absolutely obliterated them. But it wasn't just him. It was a team effort. I'd say every single person on the Mongols had contributing moments. And I'm going to say, I don't think Vitality, they definitely did feel like themselves on that stage.
This is the greatest map of Counter-Strike the Mongols has ever played. To do it in this scenery, to do it in this game, to do it with everything that's at stake, to have Sensu finally coming live, to have 9-10 blistering all over the place, to have Blitz in the beginning of the game, keeping the Mongols alive and keeping them competitive. Everything came together for the Mongols. They played the best Counter-Strike this team has ever played, and what a time to do that.
It's insane, right? Because we're talking about Vitality having the start that was ideal for them in this particular map, and then absolutely running away with it, flawless CT side as well.
Așa
There's a reason why we're lost for words.
At first, it really felt like, oh no, like Vitality's gonna just make it a slaughter. Then we see a round from Mongols. Then they start chipping away. Close victories, ones that are won down to the last couple players. But then they just start gaining momentum and they start just playing handily. And yeah, Freya, that's CT side, you're right. That was not even close. And in this one, round 8, this is another round that kind of felt like this could go the way of Vitality. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Blitz and Techno connecting for a 2 versus 4. And Techno in this ice cold match. Ice cold, just like an interview, you know, he's showing a lot of emotions, but the way he's positioning himself, getting the first kill, with the second player can be it as well. Look at this position as well. He's proactively looking for the duel, proactively seeking the duel. He's not afraid. He doesn't care that he's up against Vince. He doesn't care that he's up against Vitality. He's gonna win out that round by proactively take the fight to Vitality, and that's exactly what the Mongols did throughout the entirety of the game.
Dacă nu știi ce ai de la aplicația asta, Chris, care practic widescreen 16 pe 10, dacă pun eu 16 pe 10. Să vedem. Așa o să meargă. Lai, cum?
I love the presence of mind though to go for all these positions in the 1v1.
Ok, acum să vedeți și. Să vedem widescreen 16 pe 9. Hai să vedem. Hai să vedem 16 pe 9. Cum se vede 16 pe 9? Hai să vedem.
find a apex that is really just hunting for formation with the Vizio Eagle that comes out here to just climb in like 90-degree turns to take out Messi, and even more just insult to injury. Across the board, everybody gets rotating positions like they knew what was coming. Vitality, but Mongols, they just started firing and they hit that shot. They did hit that shot. Local shot. So they're playing it more powerless, not 60 side across. Not playing exceptionally well. That's the anchor position. Messi, they overperformed as well, had a fantastic season start today. He was nowhere to be found. This round of lower field where this is not to be expected from Messi to get something right here, but that's what he did before.
Again, trouble.
We're missing him. Some of those individuals, the anchor players,
Deci arta asta e făcută de astrali. Deci de astrali. Și ne învață niște locuri, flash-uri, moleuri foarte, foarte ușoare.
67 ADR, was it? Like, how's that even possible? Like, he's getting all these clutches, he's getting all of these super high impact moments, and to one-tap Messi at the very end of the half to close it, like, I love that Senzu is the one that's just shocked that he's sitting next to Techno, but usually it's the other way around.
Usually it's the other way around, but we got to give it up to Senzu as well. You know, Techno, big man of the first half. Senzu, second half, he was the biggest point of conversation coming into this grand final because he's been stepping it up in the playoff. He's been criticized for not always showing up in the playoff. The Mongols have had a habit of not playing their best brand of Counter-Strike in the quarterfinals and in the few semifinals they've been in. Senzu has been the guy who's had the biggest drop-off, and in particular versus Vitality, every time they faced him, he's been the one player who haven't been able to step up to the occasion.
Că deci bara aia pur și simplu nu vrea să iasă.
It felt like Senzu didn't care about that. Felt like there's never been an issue. It felt like there's never been a complex whatsoever, Maui. He was hitting all the shots, taking all the duels. And I love that. Every single package you're going to see from this game, every single highlight you're going to see from this game, it's the Mongols proactively seeking the fights.
Okay.
You look at the highlights there from Senzu, and that's what you got in highlight packages for Senzu in a group stage, in an opening match of a tournament. We had rarely seen it on the big stages. Even though victories versus Pain versus FaZe, you could make the argument, and you could sincerely make this argument, that they're not top teams, they weren't in top form, and that it was always these better teams that just really put him in the dirt, made him look like he was not a player deserving of a top 20 placement at all as an individual. But these kinds of games, you see the full potential of Senzu on display.
Now I'm going to be honest with this one. We were sprinting from the green room up here when we heard the crowd absolutely erupt. This is the 9-10 ace. We've got round number 17 ready to queue up for you guys. Whilst the Mongols fans are cheering behind us.
Deci
I haven't seen this one in person because all I could hear was just the
O
screams
fost.
of the crowd.
Well, 9-10 had a fantastic game as well, and this round is empathizing that entire thing, right? Hitting
great.
all the shots with the AWPs, being flashed off positions, and again, look how he's walking into the duel. Look, he's forcing the Vitality players to fight him. The matter is he's pulling out the duels, going for it again. They're playing with full confidence. I hate to use that word in the sense that players have to play with confidence, and it's such a vague term, but I think this game is a great reference for that. All the Mongols players were feeling themselves, they were playing with confidence, and they believed that every time they took a fight, Maui, they were actually the better players than Vitality.
I just love that 9-10 continuing to be the best player in these playoffs.
And to be the MVP of this tournament.
That is the most unbelievable storyline, that he humbled FaZe, that he made Pain look pedestrian, and now he's sticking it to Vitality like, you took the next place off. If you just... You think this is just some random...
It's crazy. It's crazy to see 9-10 play this well. It's crazy to see 9-10 play this well. But I also do want to say it is map 1. Take it. It's Mirage.
Dacă așa mă lovesc pe mine.
They haven't lost on it. They haven't given up double digits. Probably beat the Mongols 2-0, but if there was a ticket to buy your way into this grand final for the Mongols, if there ever was a world where they could potentially dream about winning the entire thing, they had to win Mirage. It's the fashion they win in.
Yeah, I mean, what was lacking for Vitality in this one? Because obviously we saw this happen. It was a little fumble versus Mouse, but that was map number 2. When you're starting a series like this, at that. Are we worried for Vitality moving on to map 2?
I feel like this is a rare game where I saw Zywoo start kind of slow, and he sort of caught up, but he didn't actually ascend. Usually you get that point maybe 7 rounds in, 10 rounds into a game, Zywoo starts getting 2K after 3K, and you know, I don't want to boil it all down to him. It's a team game. Messi wasn't getting too many either, but usually he's the guy that just saves them. He is the savior of this team, and this time around, he was getting killed. Like Techno actually one of his 1v2 clutches against Zywoo. Like he tapped him out.
Iar aici pentru ăsta de pe stânga,
Those kinds of moments are all fading away.
I'm not
asta.
necessarily getting worried because we have seen these weird games, you know, across the tournament where they just completely lose it. We had Agent standing here yesterday. Saying that, yeah, I don't know what happened on Inferno against Mars. We didn't show up whatsoever. Then we all saw what happened on We all saw what happened when they bounced back immediately into it. So they showed they could do that. Same Legacy. They lose 13-3. You think, what is going on? Then they went on a clean sweep and just destroyed everyone. So in terms of my now, that is one. And user does too. They have to forget all about it and then they have to make another bounce back, which in fairness they have done twice.
Move on.
Mam și i-ai spart smoke-ul și poți să faci foarte ușor. Aici cred că ar merge și un
What's your take?
So the argument against is that the Mongols back twice in a row against Vitality. However, I feel like if your entire legacy is grounded on every iteration of all of the players he's had, it donning the Vitality jersey. So for him to move away from it here, to me, it's a he recognizes this matchup and they can't find a solution. Does too. It, in a weird way, feels like you're trying to pick something that other teams have just been broken against Mongols. All in all, I am a bit scared for Vitality. I know they have the potential to bounce back.
Aici ca să dai la
They
jail.
can settle down. They can reset because they control so many things so much easier. It does.
I slightly
Ușor.
to go on nuke, and I don't think that would be great right now for Vitality. It's harder, you know, to get into the game on the T side. On a map like nuke, you do face a potential situation. You lose the first buy round, then you find yourself a very difficult T side because the Mongols playing on all cylinders. So in a way, I'm almost happy that it does too. That's important. All players can express themselves. So if everything we talk about, with Saibu being the greatest, with having him, Messi, you know, getting the flowers that he finally deserved, with Rob speaking, fantastic signing. That's a map that is basically enabling all players to express themselves at any moment because it's such an open design. So if Vitality truly is the better team with the better players tonight, at least they get a chance to show it.
But I know Mongols have just one map from making history here in Austin. But it's going to be a tough feat to be achieving as Dust2 does await on the other side of this break.
Do it for the fans.
Păi iar am o muscă de așa, lăsa și sângele acum că am omorât-o pe
Now they say everything is bigger in Texas. And that's certainly true down in the Moody. Alienware, Giant Labs, where I've got Maui, the scale.
Da,
Teams have got 3 minutes to get as many kills as they can on repeat by the first duo up to bat. We have got JL and Navi. Welcome to the stadium, gentlemen. What's the technique?
Da, mă, dar să lasă, uită-te. Nu l-am dat eu bine.
Okay, ready guys?
Yeah.
3, 2, start.
Oh, what? That hurt Nate? Okay.
Oh, what the fuck?
Long range shot.
Sorry, my bad.
45 seconds left.
Oh shit, 45 seconds.
Uite, acum e ăsta. Da, ăsta e cel bun. Dacă vrei să-l spargi, vii de pe stairs, vii aici, bam. Foarte ușor la spart, bam, bam, bam. Sau poți să faci pentru coechipierul tău să zic că e 90 acolo. Ai un coechipier pe tichet. Lucrul este aici. Vine smoke-ul, bam. Ai dat jump. Bam, ai dat jump throw. Ai spart smoke-ul.
2, 1, go!
2. Okay, we lost 3 seconds.
It's a rocky start. It's a rocky start, but we're getting somewhere. Okay, that's 2 already.
Ninja!
Oh,
Ok, cred că chiar o să ne apuce 2 ore de live dacă mai continuăm în pauza asta. Adică nu știu cât e pauza, aia e problema. Salut la persoana pe live. Nu știu cât ține.
Nice job, guys.
Suspense, it's killing me, Maui, but it's time to announce our winner, the Alienware Giant Laptop Competition. It is. Congratulations, guys. Any winning words you want to say to everybody rooting for you out there?
I mean, first of all, it was too easy.
Yes.
My one kill.
It was all rigged. It was all rigged. We all know it.
All right, then.
Hey, sure, you can give it another go. Yeah.
We're contacting Isa.
Yeah.
I've got Navi legend and major champion Zeus with me here, live in the grand finals. Zeus, what do you think of this crowd? What do you think of this culture?
Hello, guys. Very happy to stay here. It's like very big tournament, big arena. It's a crazy major and very many people. You see, really many fans.
Zeus!
It's not a popular game in USA, but here it's like full stadium, and I like here. I like it. It's crazy emotion. It's cool.
We do love that. I gotta ask you, who do you think is winning this major, Vitality or Mongols?
I really think about. Oh my God! It's like Vitality have more chance. I won't win Vitality, but it's crazy. MONGOLZ maybe win this major. I don't know why. It's crazy.
He doesn't know why. We don't
Dar
know
putea
why.
să
We'll
câștige
wait and see what happens.
mongolezii.
I'm sure the crowd would love to be seeing that become a reality, but one more map separates them from potentially sealing that fairy tale run. That is going to be Vitality's map pick, though. Dust 2, MONGOLZ choosing to start on the T side of things. How does that tee us up coming into the second map, Jason?
Well, first of all, I mean, you gotta like 9, 10, and Senzu have actually showed up. That was a big point for us, so that's going to be a dangerous point for Vitality. And you put them on a map like Dust 2, Dupree, you know the open space, the skill can shine. Vitality might have actually walked themselves into a trap, and this map could be very, very dangerous.
I'm very excited to see if MONGOLZ can keep up the high level, because Vitality was nowhere to be found, but they
Oh,
were
cum vine Dust
sheer
2.
aggressiveness and the way they turned up on Mirage.
Hai,
Apex was probably the only one that decided to show up on this server, and his teammates has let him down a little bit. If there's one thing that can get Apex fired up, that is when his teammates is not playing well, and I guarantee that's a talking point that they've had throughout the break.
I bet that was a very intense talk they had in between the maps. Apex was probably on their ass right now because they just got punched in the face, and the fun thing is, with champions, when they get punched in the face, they come back harder. And we've seen Vitality do it a number of times in this run, but man, a tough prospect on a big stage.
I think a lot of us, we're questioning the logic behind this Dust 2 pick, because we're talking about the openness of
Dacă
this map, the
câștigă
ability for it to get
MONGOLZ,
scrappy,
o
it
să
gets
fie
very, very messy. Why do you think Vitality have gone with this, maybe instead of the more, I guess, presumed pick and tried and tested with me?
foarte
Well, obviously Dust 2 is a comfort pick for Dust.
Acum observi același stage cum a fost și la ăla
Be very active, he roam around a lot.
de la
He's the
Copenhagen,
off player, and I've talked about many times that Dust 2
Ah,
can be the
apropo,
off
ăsta e
player,
al
so obviously we need to see some
doilea
step into
major?
the superstar shoes that he has. So for Vitality to find himself down in this grand final, that has been very unexpected. But obviously, that will also be a case where he needs the rest of his team to step
Neastrale
up.
s-au
We need to
câștigat
have some more out of play.
3
We
la
need to
rând,
see Robs
parcă.
be more activated on the lurks. There's a lot of things that Vitality has to do better.
I think you're
Două la
100%
rând.
correct, but for me, I put it all on
Trei sau
Zaiwu.
două
He's
la
the
rând.
best player, and the difference of Zaiwu in 2025 has been his willingness to be the guy, his willingness to step up and say, I'm not going to let
All
my team lose this match,
major
lose this map. That has to be the Zaiwu we get in the server right now. He's got a humble 9-10 and keep him down for the entirety of Dust 2, but Zaiwu can carry this team to a third map.
I think he undoubtedly can, but there's a hell of a lot of people cheering for the MONGOLZ, not only in this arena, but all the way over in Mongolia. This is coming at you live from Ulaanbaatar, the capital city. 4 in the morning. Look how many people have shown up. Just
4
chills,
dimineața
I can
acolo
see
și uite,
goosebumps.
da.
This is absolutely madness. What a support they get from their home country, and also what a support they get from the crowd in here.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
3-3 la
How
rând.
can you not after that first map of play? That's been so exciting. That's the crazy thing.
1
Watching them show up
2018 și
on a stage
amândouă
and not have any fear in the grand final. They beat all the questions we had for them in this run, and now in the major final, they're reaping the rewards. They've turned the corner. They're not afraid of the fights. They're not afraid of the names, and they're having fun dumpstering Vitality.
And they can feel it. You can see the motions going on in the MONGOLZ side. Usually it's a team that doesn't show too many, but right now they are feeling it. They're feeling everything inside the server. They feel the teammates. They can feel the hype. Everything is just going crazy.
I'm curious to see how the live odds have shifted
Două,
now that the MONGOLZ
trei.
took that first map handedly for the first time.
3
in history
major-uri.
in this head-to-head.
3
They're the
major-uri.
favorites, but is that the reality? Are we going to 3 maps, or do the MONGOLZ take it in 2?
We're definitely going to a third.
I can't see a team like Vitality not letting this go to a third, not taking it to a third map.
Well, potentially the Mongols have an opportunity to make history here tonight, but it's going to be a tough challenge on Dust 2.
You can believe your eyes, Austin. This is indeed happening. One map in the Mongols' back pocket.
This could have been Astralis versus Ents or Berlin, or it could have been them versus Avangard, a match that's ended 2-0 to the favored team, but instead we got Mongols taking a map, already making history here. But Apex said it, after this whole long season of winning, nothing is without the best of three. The final here at the major.
Deci, o să joace și Decider-ul, și poate să fie 2-0, deci... nu prea înțeleg. 2, 1... Wow! Hai, mongolezilor! Și iar încep mongolezii ca un tero. Bine, mă! Deci, de fiecare dată când încep mongolezii ca un tero, mereu o să câștige. Ați văzut ce se întâmplă pe Miraj, deci.
Sometimes they come back swift. Yeah. So let's see if they can.
Și-a fost mongolau.
They feel like a shell of themselves after that ass whooping on Miraj.
Cred că o să iară.
Down in lower tunnels. He will wait 3 players ahead of him. Those dual Berettas ready to roll.
Ok. MZ-no, bravo.
So Vitality will get a single man advantage, and the Mongols have a chance to redirect, but not for long. Flashback.
Okay.
Well timed. Unfortunately, Flamesy unable to get the kill right there with it.
Yeah, they get the info, but it's only worth so much in this spot so early.
Hai MZ-no, hai 90.
This duel will be the next most important.
Nu în dreapta.
Oh, and I don't know if that's one-way street on the information, but you see, maybe it wasn't.
He's still looking. Oh my god, this is...
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
He could not see him.
Turns and shoots him in the back of the head, so we go 4 versus 2. Much needed pistol here, just for the spirit of Team Vitality to come alive on this second map.
E runda lui Vitality asta.
Because Mirage was miraculous. Not just a win for the Mongols, but a total shutdown of the world #1. But don't you remember this exact same feeling when Vitality picked up the first pistol, converted for 3 rounds,
referință la Incredible
That's right, and that's even scarier when, you think about the
V-am
scoreline.
spus că acolo o să facă, bă, dacă nu l-a văzut.
Vitality side, even by that pistol in their conversions. So they know they've got a lot of work to do, and it's the kind of game where, you wish you could hear what Apex said to his team, because that's when he gets the most fired up.
I will pay for that pep talk.
Yeah. And we've also seen him be very gracious to his teammates in their dark moments recently.
Merge ăsta cu
Adding to their resilience, I'm sure.
Whether that's in between rounds or in between maps. You want to be remembered as one of the greatest in-game leaders of all time. You need to be a leader of men. You need to know the human psyche and how to pull players out of those dark pits of disappointment and self-doubt. Made easy versus pistols. We saw Vitality confidently taking these sorts of fights at the beginning of Mirage. We walked the same road as we did at the start of map 1. 2-0 start Vitality.
Yes, it's clean, and there's no plant on this round like we saw last time. Money's going to come in a little bit slower. We've seen some heaters from the Mongols on Dust 2, but
plantați pe
no
bomba.
one's testing the map pool of Vitality in general.
Păi nu plantăm bomba.
A series that's destined to go 3 maps.
It's a bold claim.
It can all change with a little change of scenery.
Avem o oră și 8. Ok. S-ar putea să atingem o oră.
Vitality will call that one a warm-up and move on. Let's see if Mongols
S-ar
keep
putea chiar
it
mai
an
mult,
early
s-ar
shot
putea chiar
here.
mai mult, s-ar putea chiar mai puțin.
Messi on the spam. They're already all
Foarte
primed up. Everybody for the Mongol
Toată
squad.
echipa. Toți mongolezi.
Poised to hit this site.
Adunat acum.
And off a few pieces of utility, they're ready to roll. So Apex with a famous well-placed grenade. That's a
Ca bă, grenăzile alea.
piece of utility.
Bine,
The
Senzu.
perfect point of that pack. And now Flamesy has
Bine, 90.
within that site. Somehow 910 connects to the headshot. Flamesy
Oh, nu pot să cred.
to get into the action off of the flash.
Bă, și ce bine a fost jucat.
But again, it's this early damage.
Nu cred, mă, Messi.
Will successfully shut down that first gun round.
Yeah, that was excellent from every perspective. All the utility, all the peaks, all the teammates rotating in. Great use of the HEs here. And sometimes the Mongols, HSP is so good. You get them low, it doesn't matter. You still have to finish off the frags. Well, here they do it.
Uite, bă, câte grenăzi au
Specifically
fost
for a
acolo,
cat take. That is game planning.
3 grenăzi.
Boom, bada bing.
3 grenăzi
A
acolo.
bombardment as they try
O
to
jucat
get
bine
out from that
Vitality,
smoke.
n-am ce să spun.
3
Juca
grenades
foarte.
on the ramp, not ones in CT spawn to be used slowly.
Vreau să câștig.
Half buy in response, send him scout.
Bă, ați
That
văzut
looks
și
like
pe
a
mine,
slight
ați
risk. Normally we see
conduceau
the passive
Vitality.
utility in CT spawn. But what did we see from the Mongols last game? They took lots of slight risks. They took lots of off angles.
N-am văzut acțiunile de
They
la
took
Rob.
fights on their own terms. That's what won them the map.
Harta
I'm
asta.
sure that's what Vitality are telling them.
Văzut Zaiu și
For this game.
Messi, atâta.
Throughout the different
Ai,
stages of this major,
primele
we've
trei
seen the
runde.
Mongols and
Da,
Senzu
da,
with
da.
that scout on this map pull off crazy mid kills. But Vitality, I'm not trying to sign up for that fight. There is not a whole world
Hai.
of tools to work with for the Mongols.
De ce nu merg, mă, să planteze? Da, da, acum ați ținut. 3 persoane cu diffuse kit. 2 țin
Mid
B-ul.
smoke towards tunnels in 50 seconds.
Bun, deci deja îi știam.
Into professional hybrid here on the scout.
It's a team that taps into that double op when they can. More than most nowadays.
Absolutely.
Senzu scout notorious.
Maybe the only team that does it with their star rifler, though.
Sure.
That's something a little different.
But as he goes for the reload, it would make sense for them to pop and pounce right here, right now. Bit of a contest towards support, held back by the mid support, rocks back.
Sigur,
For Vitality, this one.
am fost sigură că o să se întâmple
Stay
fix asta.
focused, stay alert, Mongols. This will not
This
be
had been,
easy.
da. Aici aprob cu voi.
It'd be one thing to step up to this challenge, this Goliath that is Vitality, if you already had at least some sort of trophy case to go for. But how many teams do we see step to the brink of victory only to crumble before they can take that most important final step?
It almost always happens. Absolutely. Rare moments. Sometimes in America, it happens in history. And we treasure those moments because they are so rare. But rare for a
Grenăzile,
good reason.
grenăzile, băi, grenăzile.
That beast will be on the Mongols' back all series long.
Uite cum drăpească grenăzi, mă.
Apex keeping it mobile.
Strict
Mongols
pentru ei.
leaning back.
Strict numai pentru ei.
There's nothing that'll keep you focused, though, like knowing your family's up at 5 a.m. watching your game.
O
Messi.
distrus
Here's a great
smoke-ul.
tactic. Tail end of the smoke.
The smoke.
Gonna put one down right in front of him, try to change up the spot.
S-a pus bine acolo Messi.
They'll blow it open to reveal the plans.
A wealth of grenades on the other side of this, but the Mongols aren't chucking them out just yet. Mezzi leaning away from that climb up as Mongols go over top. So it's positioning for them, but don't forget, Bomb still sits outside of the tunnel, so this round cannot suddenly become a full commitment just yet.
Hai, Tecno, hai.
And it feels like Vitality's willingness to continue to press
A,
themselves up
aici,
against this
aici
underdog
pe...
has to be their flex. So we see the
Da,
challenge.
pe orice hartă.
We get a glimpse of Saiwu
Pot să
signing up
țină
for fights, but nobody's
3
home
au,
behind
2
that smoke, so he'll
B-ul,
sit back on the angle.
Mai ales
Oh,
cu
right
Vitality,
here. Props
care
and Messi working together to stop the
e
split.
Vitality.
They've
Deci...
got to call for some help.
Bine, 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 Tecno, bine, Tecno, bine, 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 hai cu planta, hai cu plantul, hai cu plantul, hai cu plantul, hai.
They are comfortable.
Plantați-mă
inside
bomba,
that beast.
așa, bine,
5
bine,
rounds
bine.
into play on Duck 2. And the Mongols look to secure their first, but if 9-10 goes down here, and he will to
Bine, 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 a, nu l-am omorât, nu l-am omorât, pot să cred. Deci eu nu pot să cred că nu l-am omorât, bă!
in a flurry. This is Vitality trying to
Hai.
play in a flat, working it up,
Nu!
moving quickly, and killing the
Senzu.
support away from Senzu.
Senzu, nu pot să cred! Și-a mai rămas ăsta cu diffuse kit-ul lui, bă, cum nu l-a omorât, mă, pe Zaiu acolo, bă!
Claims he coming in from long was a thing that caught 9-10 off guard. His teammate nearly could have died rotating in from Fast Cat. But we see the opening kill tactic here for Vitality. This is good active defense. This is them playing to win, absolutely. And they had a hard time holding onto the site.
Pot să înțeleg.
But they made sure they didn't even really have to get into a retake situation. As soon as that bomb got planted, they were already there ready to fight. Mongols absolutely know how close they were.
5-0.
They got a breakthrough round last game to get them started. That's what they're looking for here. That's what they did for Spain as well.
Almost damn near identical.
Yeah. Yeah, they know how to create momentum. Some timeout will get used.
5-0, imediat 12 noaptea.
You still have to be able to find that breakout moment. That one came close.
Team Vitality not going to get pushed over. Flamesy, 7 kills yet to die.
There we go. That's the kind of start the Vitality squad need. Across the board as well, there's already been this affinity for the B site, so Mezzi and Rocks will continue to have their hands busy. Gonna take this chance, Blitz.
Really?
Messi has other ideas.
Full eyes
Now all
on
of a
it
sudden,
early.
they're looking for a fast reaction. Rocks lines a ton of damage, and the pull comes over quick. Sensu gonna take a look at it though. It's both players still with low health, and Rocks has got this one box to work with. All he needs.
Bundalor, ce v-am spus? Ce v-am spus, mă? 6-0.
Afraid before death on that last break. Perfect
Bravo.
hold by Rops. And this was a watching Smokes game plan here, holding on the middle, making sure Blitz can't come out. We saw him do that versus Mouse deep into overtime. Running out mid on a certain timing, looking for a duel. Vitality will not get caught off guard.
Exact,
You know, one
trebuie
round
să
ago,
știe
Rocks
unde
did sort of
să
get caught
rob,
by exactly that.
Deși.
Player emerges, he goes down empty-handed. And if not for the retake, that was the breakout. But 6 rounds in a row for Vitality. And the Mongols are going to have to stomach this reality check. Sure, phenomenal map 1.
Huh. Actually a little awkward. Mauler comes out. 3 players intent on taking long control. Now, like moth to a flame, a little preoccupied with the idea that the push might come through. It's created the effect they're looking for.
Slightly off angle from Rob's going to catch them
Deja
off
trebuie să
guard.
știți
Good
unde stă Rob
catch
bine.
off the Tech 9.
Yes, Mezzi.
Still no smoke for the doorway though, so Mezzi's vision good enough to duel.
Wow, ce căpățână! Ce căpățână! Oh, bine! 90, 90, hai.
That is a gift from Blitz.
How are you going to approach this? Sagu goes to the AK.
9-10 playing with a
Cred că o să trebuiască Vitality.
And they're worried about somebody trying to test the extremities.
Hai, Raven.
No. With both
Hey.
players on the kit, we've got that smoke
Zai,
grenade still
Zai,
for
Zai
Sagu.
un singur
Molotov
care
does
e-
not stop them from climbing through this window.
un
Flames is
singur
going to try to limit test.
Bine!
As he does.
Bine!
Bested.
Hai, 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 mă.
Vitality turned away.
Hai,
7
hai,
rounds
asta e
into
comeback, asta e
regulation.
început.
And your Mongols
Asta e
have
început de
broken
comeback.
through.
There's Blitz playing a little chess.
Ăsta e început.
That one Molly took so much damage to throw on long. Kept the
Ăsta e
3 long
început
setup
postului,
preoccupied for just long enough.
Nu-i bai.
Mezzi coming out of the B doors to watch
Bine.
mid. They isolated Rops. Not an easy guy to kill, whether he's
Bine,
alone
hai,
or
ăsta e
not.
începutul
And
vostru de comeback.
they got him with him
Ăsta e
only taking
începutul
one
vostru de
frag.
comeback. Hai.
One simple tactic.
Ăsta e începutul vostru de comeback.
I mean, that's the definition of a
shot.
Tech 9 drive-by.
And he remains unconditioned.
Sure.
Last couple times they try to fight in the middle, Vitality have done a great job of breaking that smoke open, waiting for him to walk through.
Time out.
But they look unfazed.
Deci, time
Still,
out-urile astea
just a
le
drop
dăm
in the
la
bucket.
amândoi.
Okay, change up here, Mohan.
Yeah, we got
Wow.
the RAWPC Rops.
Thoughts on that?
One of the hybrids on Dust 2 has gotten an ace that I
Oh.
remember with this gun.
Ooh, wallbang damage though.
Nobody saw anything. Uh-oh.
Oh, bine, Blitz!
Great shot on Sensu.
Talk about playing with danger.
Bine, Blitz. Bravo, Blitz.
You got
Bravo.
Zaiwu low, but at least 9-10's also sitting on a quarter.
The 2 hybrids down. Interesting. We'll see if it was worthwhile.
Atâta mai de temut. Zaiwu și Apex.
Let's let the experts
Temzi și
work.
Messi e ușor.
Zaiwu versus 9-10.
Deci ăștia trei, primii trei.
Look at the move.
Rob, Zaiwu și Apex sunt de temut.
The risk that's being taken. We're talking major grand final here. The amount of smokes that are being walked through. CTs think they can
Temzi și Messi
have a moment to themselves where they'll get some respect.
Not only do you have that walk, but you've also got Techno into this same position that Blitz unraveled it all from, but Zaiwu doesn't like just sitting back. Thing is, he took damage there. 27 additional damage done. He survives that barely. Put the smoke down in front of his counterpart, who carries that bomb. And we've seen them test smokes. They're looking to try it yet again. Flamesy sliding forward into the elbow. Line up
Oh, cred, bă!
And so now he jumps into the cover.
Hai,
His
Mzino,
10
bravo,
line
Mzino.
score dropped to 2. And Zinho 1v3 into the op. Will he find him?
Bine! Și... Nu pot să cred, bă.
Vitality find their rebound. Scoreline 7-1.
Inches away from landing that flick and
Bă,
putting it 2
atâta
rounds in a
mai,
row
bă.
together.
Inima avea, bă.
The least likely off to see.
Then we are playing confident counter strikes, both from the Mongols on the walk, out long, out mid, but also these moves from
Bă,
Zayu.
la milimetru, bă, milimetri mai avea, man.
Apex just crawling in the dirt through that CT spawn. Gun round right back, and we're going to remain aggressive. The Mongols trying to continue to play with this tempo. It is pace on Flames to fall back away from the corner. She will get out, but not unscathed. Again, early map positioning for the Mongols.
They want to play expensive CS here. One of the finest equipment in for Vitality. The ops can be very impressive. You have to be careful because they can't have that same impact if it comes to a retake. These early round situations are so important. But as we've seen, the Mongols are walking out on a lot of angles. That's the perfect recipe to find your off frags. Oh, that's a bad gap.
Oh!
That flashbang made him click.
Venus.
Hitting that every day of the week.
They go fishing for that, and this is where it gets a little scary for Vitality. Holding on to sites, going in for retakes now with 2 ops, this gun can become a liability.
Again, right, we get this proactive.
They pull the goalie. It's the right call.
They get out. Turning is Robs just in time to catch it. They've got a nade. Goes for the cross. And so they're going to leave this open line for Robs. And with the teammates' flash going inwards, Robs is not going to find anything more than the 2, but it's a fast move from Mezzi behind them. They are getting pushed into this bomb site. It is the Mongols corralled. This herd with the backs turned.
Bine!
But he's going to find the fire in front of him, and so he's got a hole. Nade takes him down to 10. And now he looks for Mezzi.
Bine, mă! Bine, mongolezilor, bine! Asta vreau să văd, asta ui, asta ui, asta ui, asta e sens. Bine, sens. Nu pot să cred. Salut la persoană în chat, salut. Bă, nu pot să cred. Bă, ce rundă. Bă,
You
ce
show him a
rundă.
shoulder and he will take your soul. Scout and pistols for Vitality. This game just opened up for the T side.
The wallets are empty.
They need the X factor. They need that special Zywoo moment.
Oh,
Coupled here with
bine.
Robs.
Hai.
Senju looking to yet again get in with impact.
Luați-l pe
His
Zywoo.
support comes up
Luați-l
from
pe
top mid.
Zywoo.
Zywoo with a shot that rocks Mongols for at least a moment. And in that moment, Flamesy's got his hands onto the AK-47. There are tools to be grabbed here for Vitality, but the off of 910 recovers it. That deep angle through the staircase of the tunnels. Only his 4th kill of this map.
For a brief moment, they had info on all 4 players. Now going back, these will start to fan out. I don't know if this will be heard. Mzinho, will he walk it to his grave?
Oh, Zywoo.
Right when you need him.
2v3.
Zywoo collects
2v3.
a second.
2v3.
And with it,
2v3. 2v3.
a gun. Recovery mission in full effect here in round 10 of the half. Still a ton of utility for 910 to get them out of here. His kill in lower tunnels is why this one's still alive.
Bine, Blitz.
On Apex, his counterpart.
Bine, Blitz.
We go back to
2v2.
A left turn. Blitz comes
Zywoo
back. Senzo here to try to catch Zywoo in the shadow.
Nu mă știe, mă, pănușă.
At the very least, Blitz will play with bomb.
Bă, nici nu
At
ți-ar
the very least, he has them separated, but that clock ticks against him quickly. This man has digged deep into Mongolia to find talent to step up to the biggest stages, and it is time for him to shine. But with Mezzi on that back of the site, his hands are busy. All Mezzi's got to do is stop this plant. He'll step forward and do it.
Nu, bă, trebuia, mă, să se uite, bă, de ce nu se uită, mă, la un, de ce, de
It's never flashy
ce?
with the guy who's there just in time every time.
You just said it best. Every time this round started to go back to the Mongols, Zywoo made another move to try to win this round. First, stepping up off the connector. Secondly, over towards long doors. and then finding that free kill with shadow advantage inside of it. The Mongols spiral back to the half-buy.
Let's try to alley-oop 9-10. Going into lower tunnels, trying to pull that lung rotation. But Zaiwu stayed vigilant.
Like that sprinkled in for the Mirage victory of the Mongols. Now they get a taste of their own medicine.
Nu știu ce se întâmplă, mă, cu mongolezii, bă, pe Miraj, așa de bine o jucat. Let's go, Mongols! Let's go, Mongols!
Sounds like a little avatar in here.
Let's go, Mongols!
Better hear some damn horses.
No, sorry, just one goat. And he's playing much better this time around. 10-4 at the moment.
Yeah, you had to, you know, really contextualize a lot of rounds to give him credit in that last game. Good kills here and there, openers that Vitality needed, but ultimately, what was the score at the top? Abysmal.
Vă dau cu grenăzile.
Utility is just so well timed.
Vă dau cu grenăzile, bă.
Suffocating in a way, but
that's a miss.
Pistol will drop down into the CT spawn. This makes things curious.
Oh!
Gets turned on. Zaiwu does it right back. But in doing so, he's given up a chance for the push out from the catwalk, and plus now long control over for the Mongols. This is Zaiwu attack from both sides.
Asta-i. Asta am vrut să
Together, they pinch on long.
Bine.
And so with lesser weapons, the Mongols put that bomb down in a curious position here because it's a lot of money on the line for Vitality. They can take a chance at this retake. Mezzi's going to get flashed for that smoke, and he'll get the one up close. How about the second in the background?
Bine.
Rox will clean it up. And so we go clutch to clutch yet again. This is where Techno does his best. Missed on shot means Rox has an open door. Forces in on that distance to the bomb, which is not planted.
Yes! Asta-i, mă, Mongols! Asta-i, mă, Mongols! Asta vreau! Asta vreau de la voi! Pot să vă fac oare un gol pentru voi? Bă, da.
Filthy shot from Mzinho and a filthy response out of Zaiwu, but ultimately look how overstressed his position was there on Carr. That split came in. And he can only spin around so many times. Oh, great find here.
These two going back and forth.
Yeah, brave move. It's a 2-ops. Coming in again, Mzinho has one.
In contrast, very little for Vitality, but they'll put it all on the line.
He actually just hot swaps. This push.
Opens a door for Apex to push.
Okay, nu mai.
Proximity, Zaiwu's back out, smoke down in front of him.
Bine.
But what they don't know about is Apex, and so he'll drop that bomb with the
Apex.
Mezzi's into the action. That is what we've come to expect. 9-3 on the half for Vitality.
I mean, the unforgettable names in all through Counter-Strike. I mean, there's so many in every single generation. I think usually it's someone who's able to kind of break the rules of that particular era, someone who kind of unlocks this vision of the way they want to play the game that other people can see and build upon. One of the first I'd name is Snacks. Defined how smokes could be used, the way he played around them, the way he walked through them, the way he hid in them. That wasn't being done at the time. That particular moment is a time of greatness for Snacks. Someone like JW and Kenny S with how aggressive they were with the AWP. Trophies, winning events, going on streaks, the NIP guys because of the streak that they went on, the Fnatic guys who established an era. There's always greatness there. I think for Pasha, I think what made him was his personality. Having someone being that outspoken and that strong, and provide emotions and provide his thoughts and be entertaining in a way that the audience can connect with and fans can connect with and we as commentators can connect with. He was always able to get kills, and despite that, you'd see these moments where you were like, how is this guy a pro? Like the way he walked around corners, the way he stepped into a 1v1. In fact, pros at the time even had a name for it called the Pasha Peak, which was like the slowest, most awkward peak ever. That was kind of the greatness defining mood around the team at that point. Olaf back in like 2015, he was such a force to be reckoned with. He was one of the players that Fnatic could just send out and say, find us a kill. And he could go duel 2 or 3 players at a time. He really did become that player where once upon a time he was the jack of all trades, and he was just so good at all those trades. 2016 was the era where Brazilian Counter-Strike really hit it. Fallen's greatness obviously comes from his movement and his ability to understand his positioning take a shot, fall back, find new cover, and he was like a master of this kind of like retreating off defense that would just pick a player off. So you add all that together with his leadership and kind of the style of Counter-Strike that he developed with the Brazilians, and Fallen's just in some ways a complete package of greatness. Device was someone who kind of mastered the textbook of Counter-Strike and always played within its limits to its maximum potential. Zaiwu is someone who just has incredible consistency, sharp with the AWP as well as the AK-47, extremely versatile, and he's a star player that doesn't demand a lot. Simple's greatness came from the fact that he just beat the game. He's the best player to ever touch it. His motivation at some point was, I want to put on a show. I want the crowd on their feet as I decimate you inside the server. And that level of greatness is really hard to achieve and might not ever be achieved again. For me, I think the GOAT conversation is a fun one. Device is the greatest CSGO player of all time. 4 majors, 21 MVPs, 20 MVPs. He was the center point for the greatest team of all time of that Astralis lineup. And then and he's going to take the mantle of the greatest player of all time. It's just a matter of time before everyone kind of gets on board and accepts that. Someone like Monasi, someone like Donk should be next in line to have some kind of a GOAT status conversation. You need the major trophies. You have to have them. Donk's already got one in his first rookie year. If he's doing this in year 1, where is he going to develop into? But it's competition and it's Counter-Strike and things can change in a heartbeat.
Yeehaw! We are here with MONGOLZ USA. They're supporting the Mongols they're cheering on. Tell me all about why you're cheering for the Mongols. What they're going to do right now.
Okay, so pretty much the Mongols are just like Cloud9 in 2018, and Vitality are pretty much like FaZe Clan. They're the U Giants, they're the best team in the world, they're a super team. The Mongols, they're a top 5 team, but they haven't won much all year. The Mongols got to take down Vitality. They got to win. It's so similar. But Vitality are going down. The Mongols are winning this major.
You heard it here first. MONGOLZ USA says Mongols will win this major. Let's go!
Feels like we're looking for something miraculous here in Austin. Quick temperature check. How do you guys enjoy this grand final so far?
Ai,
Remember, every step of the way, we could be standing on the brink of history.
I see the red thread between Mongolians and Cowboys.
Okay.
It's horses.
I got you.
There we go.
Gotta wrangle this GOAT in Zaiwu first because he has found his impact throughout that first half. We saw them getting into the nitty-gritty, those half-buy rounds. But here it goes. Mongols CT side feels like Goliath is getting back up in this series.
Yeah. We got now more of the same from their previous series. Some good competitive rounds, but an overall dominant score alone.
Bă, că e 12 noaptea. Mai trebuie să stau aici să urlu la calculator că câștigă majorul.
They put this team enough times. They knew it was going to be this difficult.
It's a tough amount of damage for Senta to have to deal with. Little jump through blitz. Good on him for still dropping a player with him. Tough to recover that one, but he will smoke down into the CT spawn, and the Mongols will rebuttal with one of their own on the door. Techno puts those Berettas right down beneath the window. If the tunnels player gets out, that's one thing, but that site was supposed to belong to the Mongols.
Oh, crushed.
Instead, Vitality just come raining through the window, and with that smoke still down towards CT spawn, it feels like it's a long road for Mongols to get into this site.
Well, absolutely. Got nothing here to work with. CT's starting to peel back. It's a proper attack here from Vitality. You can see the crack open the middle of the map. Yes, it cost them a player, but once they get that smoke down for mid B, the rest of their utility gets him into the site easily. Might be a quiet death here for Mongols on Dust 2. They've got nothing more to give.
Oh, it can't be any more quiet than Vitality going out of Barrage.
Yeah, you don't pull out 2 pistols, or you don't pull out victories like this without winning at least one of the pistols.
Damn, Austin. Would you look at this? Walk up close. Good hustle through the doorway. Just good team play from Vitality. They're spacing here. You can see in the highlights all these kills ready to be traded out. Flamesy was in bottom middle. Even if those Berettas started to get crazy, it's these deep lunges from the T side that really made things awkward for Mongols. Double scout buy between Blitz and 910. Curious that it's not in Senzu's hands, but Blitz is looking confident the way he takes this towards top middle. Hearing that utility coming up from Suicide, though, is going to make him play a bit more timid. Back towards the doorway. Him and 910 looking to combine in middle with these guns.
Finding chances to get these openers. That anybody peeking him. Vitality bleeding seconds off the clock, but they can afford to lose. Actually very good here from Vitality in terms of exactly how quickly they're coming in. No resistance. The later the round goes, the harder it is for the CTs to find these opening kills. This is what a perfect anti-eco looks like.
But Blitz is here with flashbangs, and Mzinho, if he finds a bunch of bodies blind, maybe he tears through this cat hit. And
Venus!
A bunch of damage. Zywoo's going to be sitting on 30. Rock looks towards the reaction out middle. You can see the Mongols a bit flustered, trying to come and help their captain. Rock's cutting them down to size one by one. The Desert Eagle finds its answer. And Senzu would love to get his hands on a better gun. Blitz connects. Zywoo bested and more damage done. It's 2 health remaining here for Mezzi. And as Vitality try to push up against this site, here comes Senzu from the back line.
Hi, Senzu.
2 HP.
And if only he had a frag.
Mezzi has the bomb, but he doesn't have time to get to the other side. He's got a plant. Senzu, will he be able to cut him off the pass?
Oh, he doesn't try to stop it. Mezzi hands busy. If only he had some way to do damage without giving Mezzi the chance. The one golden shot's what Mezzi needs. He swings.
Nu pot să cred. Nu pot să cred, mă. Bă, avea 2 HP.
Push towards Cat. I can't believe he took that move.
Oh, what could have been with this one. Wow. Mzinho finds a stack of blind bodies.
He's ready. He thinks Senzu, as he is, going to try to bait out some information over the top of a box. He plays like he has 100 HP. It works to his favor.
La unghie, dacă nu mereu acum. Glonț era mort. Da. Dacă atâta se cam poate.
Yes, keep
you are guys, you are amazing. You are fucking amazing team. I love you guys for real. I love being in this team. Thanks for that, guys. I swear, thanks for that. The best team of my career so far. So let's fucking go. Let's win the fucking major together and start by now. Let's go, boys.
Let's fucking go, boys.
That's not the hater I remember coming out of the stage.
No. He may not like you guys, but he sure as hell loves his teammates. And like I said, leader of men. To get everybody rallied after a deflating loss. No easy ask. Of a man who plays against the world tonight. Scout shots connect through the middle. He doesn't need to see you. He can sense you. I mean, Zywoo's giving you some shots. Those tracers. What Senzu's looking to lock in on. The magazine, a scout down, and half of Zywoo gone. But it's going to have to be 4 spies for the Mongols. We are on the highway to map 3.
Senzu, bine. Apex.
Not able to snap it down to the player to the doorway.
Bine.
Have a teammate to work with. Mezzi able to get the better of the scout. But again, this damage just keeps racking up. This fast moving.
Low, nu cred. Bă!
Full recovery from Vitality. Another situation, just like Mezzi in the last round. Zywoo, 2 health. Catches the player getting a little rambunctious. Mongols thinking that they've got Vitality sinking in round 15.
They can counter a spot just walking out of mid. They're trying to look for him. 9-10 trying to think ahead.
Bomb's already gone. Ross has that full health.
Bine, mă, Vitality. Bravo, bravo, n-ați spun, bravo.
Mongols want to
bravo, Vitality. Cea mai bună. Bravo, Vitality. Bravo, bravo.
Great try. Senzu fought hard just to keep it full on mid. On this eco, but it's so well played here for Vitality. You can push them, you can test them, but they don't get scared. That's what Mezzi proved in that last 1v1. That's what they proved here on this anti-eco. You're not dreaming, kid. You are in a major final.
Zywoo down low, off the bat, trying to work his way down middle. Scoops up bomb as Mezzi waits for some kind of a movement over on Long. Senzo in these last couple rounds has been more than happy to take chances. Any damage early could come back to cost Vitality. But they don't seem too intimidated about taking up the space regardless. Blitz has got a nice little pocket of comfort here behind the stairs. Gets into Apex, and now Flamesy's low as well. So the Mongols again working with less, or at the very least getting in their damage.
Easiest time to win this game is now. Spending every dollar to make this happen. Damn it, but no kill once again.
Just get all the damage in, but the kills are so elusive. Blitz finally able to collect one frag over top of Zywoo. He has done a great job of thrusting his team to the top of the board. Him, Ross, and Mezzi, all 17 kills apiece. But the long flank gets caught out again. Mzinho is bested in a critical duel that'll give man advantage back over to Vitality. Can't forget about that early damage, though. Could damn well be the reason Mongols try to extend play here on Dust 2.
Looking for one more aggressive move. They bought some time on the clock. Bombus gets a frag, no refrag, however. And they shoot over to the site that Vitality were thinking about going to, but they've got time to change. This one might come to their captain.
Oh, Bine, Rob's more. Apex.
Versus Blitz.
All right. Apex has got the health to work with. Blitz is going to get volleyed out of this position.
Oh!
To a crisp. The kills.
Oh! Și gata runda. Gata runda la timp.
Closer to overtime. The first step of a massive ask. I hate even saying the word out loud.
I mean, especially versus Vitality. Who's ever made that comeback so far?
I'm at a loss.
Am noroc, l-a luat pe Zaiu acolo.
They're used to getting to 12 or even more. Getting 13 first.
90?
Good try in the end. They keep it really expensive here for the Mongols. But they themselves clearly suffered some losses. It tagged both ways. Techno and Zywoo down half.
Looking like a bit of a fixation on Long. You could get the wool pulled over Mzinho's eyes. When he's gone active through that doorway, it's been at the Mongols' cost. Look at this move towards top middle. We got bodies here for the Mongols trying to catch Vitality off guard. Looking to fight fire with fire.
Oh,
damage off on the scout. No tag back either.
Low.
I can't believe it, man. Blitz is just so comfortable moving into all of these spots.
Again, though, trying not to throw him under the bus.
Nu prea mai pare.
But this long fight is going the way of Vitality all too often. Minute 10, and they've got an open road.
Blitz secured incredible information. Now there is Wops that's just waiting outside to come back in for the re-aggression. The T's, however, are going back. This might be so smart.
Yeah, I mean, going all the way. The Moody center falls silent because the end of the Mongols feels near. Zywoo is going to serve up a great distraction over towards Long. You see this preoccupying 3/4 of the Mongols. And Zywoo stops rattling those shots off, but Vitality's still taking their time, silently getting up into the tunnels. The Mongols have no idea. This is going to be a B-site retake, whether the Mongols know it or not.
No, they get the info. Blitz makes the call, I think, executive decision here. No one's exiting the back of Long, and they took too long to actually get into the site. They're going to get met in the door.
All right, little hesitation. Battle's
Bine Senzu.
A slight hesitation for Vitality. Gave that chance back over, but you've allowed Zywoo to attack the flank.
Bravo, Vitality! Bravo, Vitality! Bravo, Vitality! Bravo! Bravo! Foarte bine.
And they set up hell of a precedent. But in a major grand finals, we will go the distance. Inferno up next.
They leave it all on the line. And they put together one of their more classic score lines versus a team they played a lot. Lots of single-digit losses to the Mongols. Vitality want to remind them that just because it's a major final doesn't mean it's any different.
But what Vitality needs to remember is that their Inferno is also on a weak foundation. This is where the win streak ended, and it's where the major ends as well.
Flamesy, good recovery, I gotta say, after that first map. Tell me, was it going a bit better here?
Well, it's a stressful match. Mongols played really well on the first map, and we played now good. We had good preparation.
Deci,
so
o oră 18, o oră 17, 45,
so I guess it was everything together that slapped us in the face a bit.
Can't possibly lose on your birthday. What is the task for Inferno? How are you going to bring it home?
Well, we're just gonna play our game. We have a good Inferno. This tournament so far we haven't showed it yet, but this is the
Deci
moment
asta
to
cu
show it.
jocurile papa.
And that's it. We're gonna do our best.
We'll join your team. Thank you.
Papa e cel mai lung.
Well, the Mongols start the series off red hot. I've got Mzinho right here. Mzinho, you got a ton of fans in Texas. There's a lot going on right here in this moment. What was the difference between the Mongols in map 1 and map 2?
At map 2, we can't show up ourselves, and everything didn't go bad. Yeah.
And then if we look around this room right now, what does it feel like when the entire room is behind the Mongols?
Yeah, it feels very good that whole nation cheering for us, and we tried our best to win map 3. Yeah.
Last one I've got for you, this man, all the way over to Ulaanbaatar. They're watching Counter-Strike. There's a whole bunch of people in Mongolia watching Counter-Strike. You want to say something to them?
За хоёр дахь map дээр жоохон бүтлгүүдэд эхэлчлээ. Тэгээд гурав дахь map дээр Inferno бид нэр өөрсдийнхөө хийж чадах бүх зүйлийг тулталсан нэгэ давар авахыг хичээнэ.
And that's the Mongols, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, for Vitality, they're the big bad wolves in Austin right now. They put a stop to the Mongols' fairy tale run for now on the ground of Dust 2, but that is what we expect from a team, Peter, who have been performing at the highest level so far in 2025. This is the response we wanted, and it's what we got.
Exactly the bounce back that I also expected of Vitality when they come out with such a poor performance on Mirage. You know, the way they have turned around, the way that they were playing off each other, and you just see that the team just stepped up to a whole new level in combination with their individuals, also actually showing grit. Like, I think we had, obviously, Saiwu, he was the talking point coming in. Dust 2 was like kind of the opposite paradise. But if I were like to go into the Mongols room right now, and if I was allowed to go in there, I would actually just tell them, right, come here, guys. And I was like, guys, stop thinking about winning, because that is the issue they have right now. Stop thinking about it, because that's why they're playing poor.
Yeah, thinking too much on the end goal versus what's going to get you there. Yeah, for sure. This one definitely got away from them. I would say, like, Vitality, that's how you won the champions that we've had this year to respond. But also, Apex even says it in that team clip that was there. That was like, thank you guys. I love being on this team. You could see some of that leadership. But he's also saying that because I guarantee between those maps, he was like, wake up. Somebody wake up. Come join me in this grand final.
That must have been an Apex team talk for the ages in between maps 1 and 2. But you mentioned team play, Peter. We saw it right off the bat for Vitality. It's round number 3. It's the first gun round that Mongols are coming in with. What was the story for you in terms of how Vitality responded?
I think it was more about the preparation. We can see that Apex chucks the first grenade in when the whole pack goes up, but he actually picks up another one, and he picks up another one. There's like the way they have put all the grenades in this specific spot tells a case that they probably know that Mongols like to group up in the third round when they get the rifles and just go for this very notorious group up catwalk strike that we've seen coming into Counter-Strike 2. And I think this is a showcasing that Vitality, they came in really prepared. Obviously, this is their map pick, so they know what to expect. They know what Mongols like to bring to the table. And then afterwards as well, we just saw how they were actually going for the retake, doing supportive flashes for each other. It wasn't just up to the individual, but it's actually the team play to set up the place.
Yeah, and I think it actually that round leads into like a bigger picture of what like Vitality was trying to do on the map. Because after that, I think Mongols got a little bit scared of catwalk. They spent a lot of time attacking the B bomb site afterwards, and it was like, oh, maybe these catwalk hits aren't going to work this game. Maybe Vitality actually have this locked down and prepared for us.
Very similar story when we dive into round number 5. Even when the Mongols do get the bomb down, Vitality having all the answers in terms of their retake too.
This was like a case for Mongols actually putting themselves in a great position. The first opening frag, he has great team play again. One is getting blown to smoke mid to find the frag on Blitz. And you know, Messi tries to get away. This is the thing is now, once they actually get into a position where they want to try back to the B bomb side, they actually get drops quite luckily through the smoke. Techno gets quite the frag. And that opens up the entire bomb side. You know, the mid play comes in, they still get the trade, they get the bomb side. But this is the case. 9-10 just needs to stay alive because when he goes down, he also puts Techno now in a position. He doesn't get the frag, so now he has to rotate back. And Vitality, they immediately understand that the fact that he is in lower, that means there's only one guy on the B bomb side. That is where they know when to strike. This was a case of Mongols overthinking the situation and not actually just playing the B bomb side, the defense.
Making it too hard on themselves, I think. Like, that's like 9-10 saying, I need to get this kill for myself right now, but you have that crossfire with Techno, right? Lure him in. You can just chill. You've showed your presence.
Just play off each other. And 9-10, stay alive. That's all that matters.
Techno's got next one, then I peek again, and it can be beautiful.
I think it's safe to say that we were demanding a lot more from basically every single individual from Vitality coming off of that first map of Mirage into Dust 2. And Birthday Boy Flamesy, he showed up. We got round number 8. There was obviously a hell of a lot of impact throughout this entire map from him, but it's great to see, you know, a rookie on this very stage, right? He's one of the few members of Vitality Decree that hasn't won a major trophy.
Obviously, there's a lot on the line for Flamesy that hasn't won. So obviously to see Flamesy stepping up from, we've seen him have like plays where it's been going wrong for him, but here this is a very like great play. Once you get the smoke on the camera, that allows you to go there. We've actually seen them as senior walked out long. I think they had a lot of space here that MONGOLZ didn't know how to use, and that actually forces his teammates to. He probably calls that he wanted to attack on the catwalk side instead of actually playing on the fact that he's unspotted on long.
Yeah, and I mean that shows too. Like Flamesy sliding up behind that smoke on catwalk. You talked about the Apex preparation with the nade stack. It's like another indication. And actually, that was maybe like the 4th time in the game up to that point where I'd seen MONGOLZ trying to execute through a smoke into a defender. Rops had a couple rounds to the B-bomb side. He was able to spray one down. Techno got that lucky kill on him in the round you highlighted. But if you're in a position as a team when you're starting to feel like you're so tactically outplayed that all your hits and all your strategies are going through smokes, that's a terrible feeling. And that makes you feel very much like the other team is about 4 steps ahead of you.
Now, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. 22nd of June, 22nd major, 22nd birthday for Flamesy right here, right now. Not to steal your old catchphrase, Dupree, but written in the stars, is it for Flamesy?
I mean, it's kind of, you know, he puts himself in this one to win, you know. It's like if we believe in like the overthinking and the superstitious stuff, then he's set up himself to have a really good showing. I mean, I think for Flamesy, it is obviously he's a guy that can really show, but he's also a guy that can disappear. I think we've seen both of this tournament. I think it's important, especially coming into the next one, is House of Inferno, where he completely disappeared yesterday against Mousesports. This is exactly where we need to see Flamesy step up the thing and go for the plays that he's really good at.
If he loses the grand finals today, how many birthdays do you think this ruins?
Probably the next 5
years, 5
Yeah, it's going to be good. Serious PTSD, man. It wasn't like the MONGOLZ didn't try to fight back here, right? We can dive into round number 9. Once again, Senzu trying his best, pulling off an amazing performance here. It just wasn't enough in the grand scheme of things.
I will obviously be praise Senzu for what he's been doing so much. And again, we've seen the MONGOLZ actually playing around where they put themselves in really good position, going for a B contact play to catches Vitality off guard because they one guy down. They actually do a little bit of a fumble here where they lose too many frags or ups instead of actually waiting or trying to do it together. And then Senzu actually from Car getting a kill, but I love the reposition from him that he doesn't stay in this position. Messi actually comes in with a great flank, but look at the reaction from Senzu. He knows, well, he's actually forced out by the Molotov to go out, get that double kill that Vitality do not expect. He picks up the orb and starts thinking, what am I supposed to do? I have so much little health, I need to go for something, and boom, he gets the death.
I know there's a quote talking about the MONGOLZ positives, but I'm going to do what I do best, and I'm going to turn it into a negative, because 3 rounds won by MONGOLZ in the first half, all 3 of them were won by those kinds of desperate clutches.
Yeah.
Like, they never got their foot in the door in an actual round. They never got to play with an advantage. They never really got to feel like they were comfortable in the round and had control of things. Everything was desperately, barely hanging on.
And that's the thing. It wasn't like they weren't trying to play that same fearless style that we saw on map number 1. It just wasn't working in the same way, right?
I actually feel like the round 3 that we watched, the way that they got demolished on the AXQ by getting naded, maybe that got a little bit to their head, thinking, okay, they maybe know how we like to approach that. And after with this one, I actually feel like MONGOLZ went on a path that was not good for them. They went for a lot more individual plays. They started, you know, trying to be a little bit of the hero of the guy. We lost one like a frag here, then someone tried to sneak through a smoke, go out mid, go out long, and they just constantly died one by one and tried to group up and actually play. It's like they got afraid of actually playing the style that we know they can play.
I think the catwalk thing with Apex forced them over to the B bomb side. I actually think, I mean, Zabu obviously had a great game, plenty of players to talk about. I think Rops was the key factor in this, because once they switched away from catwalk and started attacking B, spraying them down through smoke, taking down 1 or 2 players, damaging a couple players, pushing up middle with an AWP. He set a tone on the other side of the map as well that was just like, you don't have access to this either. So where are you going to go now? Catwalk's closed, B bomb site's closed.
Well, Jason, you brought up the Apex hype moment, so let's relive it one more time in this mic'd up moment.
Yes, keep it
you
up
are,
together,
guys,
boys.
you are amazing. You are fucking amazing team. I love you guys, for real. I love being in this team. Thanks for that, guys. I swear, thanks for that. The best team of my career so far, so let's fucking go. Let's win a fucking major together and start by now. Let's go, boys.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Yeah, maybe maybe just close your ears for that one.
Yeah, I did already.
Ever worked with? He didn't say that, but like sincerely, you can tell Apex means that, right? There's some people where they say those words, there's not the vigor, there's not the passion behind it. Apex is not one of those people. He only says shit if he means it.
And it's a cool moment to do it. Like, he's not actually being like super loud, super hypey about it, just very calm. They'd already had a huge lead up to that point, and that was the thank you for the recovery between maps. And I'll tell you what, I'd run through a smoke, 3 flashbangs, Molotov, and a grenade for him after that speech. I would do exactly that.
And you know, that brings me back to what I said just before we went live with the first map, also for the second map, sorry, is that the fact that they found themselves in a position where Apex was the only one showing up in Mirage, and now he needed his teammates to step up. Now he also praised them back for actually doing it. You know, that's great. It's great leadership. It's
positive reinforcement. All would be so happy.
Definitely.
Just because I'm going to be doing the final thoughts down on the show floor with the other two lovely gentlemen, Maui and Pimp. I want to get your closing thoughts. This is the final map of the major. We've gone the full distance, the third and final decider. Of course, it has to be Inferno. Give me your takes, guys.
I mean, I think if you want to talk about the mentality Vitality has, that it, you know, match history doesn't matter. It's a major. It's all new. You can have the same thing about a third map in a major grand final. Nothing matters anymore. Everyone just has to come in on this one map. I think obviously the weakness of Vitality that we've seen them get upset on the map twice throughout this event is a little bit worrying. I'm going to still take Vitality to win it, but this map feels very 50-50.
I'm going on board. I got to go for Vitality. And I also think that the team that thinks the least of winning is going to win this one.
Gentlemen, I don't know how this one is going to be falling, but I do know we need to head things to a quick break. When we're back, Inferno, the ultimate decider, going down here in Austin.
Suspend pentru că, da, ia uite-mă ce fain a făcut aici un drone show. Aoleu. Un minut și ceva. Hai, un minut. Uite mongolezii acolo. Oh. Hai. Începe.
Matt Fletcher here, and he bought a Mongol shirt on day one of the major. But America's fallen in love with this team. Why do you love them so much?
Because Texas is all about cowboys, and all the horses are coming from Mongolia. We love Mongols. Let's go Mongols!
Mongols. Let's go, Mongols.
Crazy.
There is absolutely no denying who the crowd are rooting
Avem
for
puțin
in
până
this one. But
Haideți,
either way, we do fall to that third and final decider. It is going to be Inferno to decide who is going to be lifting that major trophy. Tell me a story about the Mongols on this particular map, Jacob. Why could they maybe be taking down the favorite?
Well, I think the story is more about vitality, to be completely honest. I think the Mongols have a realistic shot actually at winning the major. Jason said perhaps a 50-50. I'm inclined to agree in the sense that anything can happen now. For Vitality, coming into the tournament, in 2025, they had played Inferno 19 times, and they won 18 of those matches, which in itself is crazy. By far the best team in the world on Inferno. At the major so far, Maui, they played it twice, and they lost both times. So they're 2 for 2 in losses. Furthermore, they played 33 rounds on Inferno in this tournament, and they only won 7. They got smacked yesterday versus Mars. They got smacked versus Legacy. Now, is that something to go off by? Then the Mongols definitely have a chance. But as he said, Jason, that is, he's smart, doesn't have them often. It's a major. It's map 3. Anything can happen.
I still got to give the favorites to Vitality in this one. I can't mince words in that regard.
Let's
a little bit from Apex motivating his troops, but I feel like right now a lot of this actually comes down to his individual play. We know they're starting on CT side, and as Apex continues to etch his name into the Mount, or his face that is, into the Mount Rushmore of in-game leaders, he's going to actually have to do a lot of the fragging because you know Senzu, he loves running up banana, he loves trying to take it from him, so he's going to have to fight back, Apex.
We sound like a broken record every time we talk about Inferno, but the amount of fights that are going to be going down in that banana position, what's the story for Mongols on the other side of it if they're going to be, you know, trying to break through that Vitality defense to start?
Well, I want to make the comparison to when Legacy beat Vitality on Inferno. I think the Mongols can play the same brand of Counter-Strike, which is ultra aggressive early on. You speak about banana, you speak about Apex. I think he's going to have his hands full in the beginning of the game. I think the Mongols will contest that area of the map, and I think they'll do it in an aggressive way. They're not going to sit back and T-spawn for 30 seconds or for 60 seconds waiting for the fights coming to them. They have to play Counter-Strike the way they did on map 1, where they take the fight to Vitality. And we have seen Apex, we have seen Vitality struggle on Inferno when that's the case.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, Sensu's the guy that's going to be right there up against him, and I feel like Sensu's got to do this for a few reasons. One, he's got to do it for Mongolia. 2, he's got to pay back Mara, who's put so much faith in him, and 3rd, he actually just has to pay his debt to Ben 10.
There's so many people behind the Mongols, rooting behind the Mongols, that is, we obviously have a crowd favorite, undisputed in here. But did you guys see the pictures of the fan viewing over in Ulaanbaatar? That is insane. Imagine you're the Mongols in this moment, knowing a weight of a nation on your shoulders. Is that going to be too much for them to handle as we move into map 3?
I hope they haven't seen the pictures, to be completely honest, because that could be a little bit added pressure on top of what already is a lot of pressure playing in a major grand final. It's 6 a.m. in Mongolia. I hope they're listening in to us right now. You see some of the pictures right here on the screen as well. It is absolutely crazy. Imagine being awake at 6 a.m. to support your favorite Counter-Strike team in your home country. Sincerely, I hope they haven't seen the pictures, Mario, because that would add a little pressure to me.
I mean, no matter how you shape it, that looks like a rave, but it's just techno on the screens instead of techno in their ear. It's unbelievable what the Mongolian sport looks like. And I know that America does love Mongols too, and I love that they're giving so much energy to them, but I just hope that they're not out of gas.
There's absolutely no ways there.
Shit. This is absolutely insane. But when we talk about pressure, we do obviously have to be looking at the side of Vitality. Heavy favorites to come into this. We were talking about it all season long. 6 trophies. Is it for naught if they can't lift this one here today?
It's not for nothing, but obviously it would be a huge sting for Vitality if they were to fail to win this major. They are the heavy favorites. You look at the odds as well. Obviously, they are supposed to win this one. Now I want to put one player on the spot right here. Messi. He's going to play in pit CT side. I think he needs to step it up right here. He's been doing well so far, but to have a Crumbtemp who's going to do well in that position to lock it down, that has to be Messi to begin with.
It all falls down to Inferno. One final map in the Lone Star State to see who will be hoisting the trophy.
Moody Center, from Boston to Austin, 7 long years. And what if we got map 3 Inferno with an underdog on the server? You can't write a story better than this.
We've been here before. Austin, I want to just keep it real for a second. Tomorrow morning, all of us wake up and everything you've seen in the last 3 weeks is nothing but a memory. This is your chance to embody Counter-Strike yet again while everybody at home and all of the Mongolians in their country cheer on. So I want you to give it your fucking all. I want you.
Aye. Change. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Și iar încep
Had taken your
mongolezii.
cup off just to
Tot pe
appreciate that.
ce rost
Thank you
mai
so much, Moody. Let's get
toate
into it.
hărțile au început tot pe...
Make no mistake, Vitality have been hit hard on this map. They've lost twice so far at this major. They have not won Inferno so
ce
far.
boost!
Legacy and
Ce
Mouse.
boost la Mzino.
Between them, they got 7 rounds. The scariest part, Connor.
Hai.
1 poor CT side, 1 poor T side. There's no consistency right now at this event for Vitality on this map.
Which is just so bewildering to say about the team that has been the embodiment of consistency throughout the first half of 2025. How is it that Inferno remains so elusive?
Oh,
Most important event of the season.
Oh, the guy with all the utility just popped up, took out Mezzi, and pushed the other CT back. Rob's looking for his way back in, but he's letting them go.
Oh!
Down. That's a nice find.
Give me more of that. Mzinho kind of stuck into this corner.
But he could just hold him back. He knows his power right now. Let's see how.
Oh!
Bullet between the eyes from
Ce
long range.
cap! Ce căpătâie!
Apex playing retake.
I-a dat
Good
drept.
spot here for the Mongols. Lost 2 pistols last time. Will they make up for it?
B-site needs some improvement. This map needs some improvement. As far as Vitality's camp is concerned, we've got 1 kit here for Rocks for the retake. You've got an Incendiary and you've got a smoke grenade. Small pieces of a big puzzle. Massive ramifications. Early momentum is what Vitality need to weaponize. And right now they want to get this retake going.
Because the flash.
Robs e foarte low. Robs e foarte low. Și ăsta e un dezavantaj. Ăsta e un dezavantaj. Oh! Mamă, Mzino. Yes! Bine, mă, bine.
Ahead right now in this final. They got this pistol.
Nu chiar așa era, dar gen... Nu erau față în față cum au fost la ultimul major. Deci erau diferite. Bă, dar ce knife i-o dat acolo, bă, frumos. Foarte bine. Foarte bine executate. Mzino acolo venit cu capul ăla. Apex, ești cam blocat.
Taking and defending Banana has been a problem for Vitality.
I-a lăsat low. I-a lăsat low.
Apex, as was called upon
I-a lăsat
by
cam
the
low
task,
pe Blitz și
has
pe
to be the one to
90.
contribute a lot here. And he has been playing well. He who wins Banana wins Inferno.
Acum dacă vin ăștia pe B și fac așa un rush de ăla foarte frumos. A făcut pe Apex de toți banii. Mezi și vine acum toată echipa. Saltare la persoană.
As if a 1v5 on B-site wasn't hard enough. Thing is, though, he's still working with a good amount of grenades, so he will refresh that smoke. But we've seen a lot, I think, throughout this series of the Mongols kind of pushing the limits on smoke grenades.
The thing is, sometimes you see a smoke like this and you don't believe anything because would you block if there was a flank coming in? Right? You'd want to leave it open. I wouldn't be surprised if they run through this.
5-7 off of the flashback.
Oh, bine.
Slows it down for a second,
Executat
allows for
foarte
the other
bine.
pistols to arrive in time.
He's waiting for a flash.
Mezzi's gonna just jump on through.
Oh, bine, bine. Bine. Zaiwu.
With a big multi-kill already, 3 frags to his name, but you've got Zaiwu into the clutch. Player over towards the pillars trying to get his hands.
Oh, nu cred. Mamă, ce clutch a făcut Zaiwu.
He is the pillar of Vitality.
He saved this, denied the second round conversion.
Clutch foarte
The
frumos.
1-on-2, look at this flash. It's absolutely beautiful.
Blitz acolo.
He has to make up for that last map. Mongols did to him what they did to Simple earlier on in the quarterfinal. He's coming into this final, tied as the highest rated player ever in a major playoffs.
Which is just amazing.
MC.
But it
Oh.
won't win anything without this win.
Easy.
Certainly a lot less without his performance in this very final.
Exchange kills, top banana. That's going to send the Mongols back. So many questions about Vitality on Inferno. Why did it start to go so wrong? And how do they stop this free fall, this abyss that is their current record on Inferno, specifically here in Austin? Utility's healthy still for the Mongols, and they've also got a bunch of space going for them. Rops is looking to get into the action. AK stuck into the fight, but it's Rops and Zywoo. What other duo would you want to try to hold back the Horde?
Oh, Rops.
9 seconds, the last player up. They do a great job on this defense to just keep Mongols at bay. No footing closer to that bomb site. No kill on the defense goes their way. So that gut-wrenching feeling of knowing you went from winning pistol to being completely bottomed out economically now starts to sink in.
This used to be the map that was the one that Mongols could rely on, and they didn't really have a map pool otherwise. Now it's just a feature, not one that they pick, but one that they're happy to run into. A map that they took to round 24 the last time they played against Vitality. Vitality, no, they won last time.
I feel like within this series, there's been so many small mid-round moments where either team is just kind of taking that blood to their enemy, and this last round's such a great example of it again. Zywoo off short, Rops up into the apartments.
No kill off that, but they run through the nades. They're going over.
They're going strong, trying to catch Vitality entirely off. This is the kind of decision that could actually have further ramifications. It is a massive hole inside of the B site.
Oh, the counter util is fantastic. Running back and committing to the run back and falling back on their utility. Doing everything well here, not a single death.
The Mongols thought the element of surprise was going to be enough for this fourth round. Instead,
what they needed was someone to start Hobbit. The triple need to take him out, and then they could run over the site, but no one was there. It was a solid call on the anti-ego setup here for Vitality. Apex can be proud of his teammates for where they used their utility from, how much space they gave up, but they knew where to draw the line.
Bravo, Vitality. Cea mai bună echipă în 2025.
you will often find
Aibă aceeași
players
poveste
floating
ca și
around in that perfect place where the nades did pop,
Astral,
just
că
not
de
this
două
time.
major în același an.
And so ready for something that
S-ar
aggressive.
putea.
Here it is. Mongols bottomed out. Desert Eagles across the board. If the last round fell so flat, why would you have any belief in this one? One thing if Vitality were making mistakes, giving early fights, offering an opening to the Deagles, that has not been the case so far.
They're going to look to slow this one down to a crawl. When you see a buy like this, you want everybody to have enough time to work an angle, to take the fight that they're looking for. It's time to be greedy. You have a Deagle in play. You're trying to knock off a lot of health, take out a player, knock down 5K from the scoreboard. Don't have the util. Going forward with any kind of exact, but you know what? They're actually crawling up quite quickly.
Again, trying to play with timing, but just the contrast. Much slower this time around. I was going to catch the kill over towards the A site. That's the backup plan of the Mongols going south. And if the Vitality players aren't giving you a threat to pull on, then try to get tricky. That's what we see here with this blitz boost. Senzu loves to test these smokes, and he's looking to do it again.
Oh!
Mitzi on the recovery. He had a multi-kill last round when they played it fast, but look at the radar. Look how far away they are.
He peeled back immediately.
Mitzi,
Oh, bine.
a lineup on players that didn't have armor. It's made that much easier for Mezzi, but it's just that fast move that could have, maybe should have broken down this defense. Techno's been a hell of a clutch, but with three partners, I don't think so. Majority stands tall for Vitality. 4-1 lead early days.
Zywoo gets him back into this game. They run with it from there. Protocols are looking sound. They must have taken time to talk about their Inferno. The first loss was versus Legacy. That was some time ago. The Mouse loss must have been startling after that, because it wasn't a close game. It was one-sided, and that's just not what we've seen from what is the strongest map in their pool, or was. But now it's become their most studied map. Now it's become the most predictable one to come into a veto. That's what MONGOLZ tried to lean into. Vitality looks like they may have taken it back to the level that it was at before they came to this major. No better time to do it than now. Apex, the captain of this team, man. Looking for 3 majors across 2 games. And while other players have made role swaps, none as ambitious as trying to become the world's best IGL and then actually create arguments for it.
Fast move towards Banana. Techno, got his pocket. Gets burned out of this though. At least he finds Sanctuary within that smoke, but he is just zoned at the moment. Lucky to still be standing. Apex gonna hunt him down within that one as they leave a player still committed to the Banana. Again, there's been a lot of, I think, early support systems for Vitality at this B site. They're trying to find an improvement as to how to get back into their old Inferno ways. Maybe this bolstered B site really is the key, because so far so good. They've got MONGOLZ walk back, wounded yet again.
Their utility just looks so fresh right now. Everything is hitting exactly where it needs to be. You can see the health bars for the MONGOLZ. The first kill that comes out. Techno tries to push through smoke because Flames uses all of his ammo. It's just a bait. Apex is watching that. He's very careful before he hits that reload button to make sure Flamesy gets his bullets back in his gun.
In the absence of any follow-up down Banana, we do get the MONGOLZ, who look damn adamant about trying this one again. Still a little bit of utility to come out for Vitality. Kept the coppers well stocked for this. Challenge through the smoke goes down flat as hell. Flamesy looking for temporary cover as Apex here for the lead. Absolute excellent B-site defense.
Get excited, Apex, because that is dream level play here from your team. Everything in position, everyone covering each other. Flash is not having the impact they're looking for. MONGOLZ, they're trying to get ahead of these flashbangs. There's even strats where your design's taken after him and Flash can run through it. You can see Flamesy catching the tail end of these, but before he does, he's in an active defense. He's not tucked back waiting for his teammates to take all the I love that bounty position.
Man is starting to believe. Very awkward for Flamesy, but I'll just say the fact he gets away with that.
Yeah, that just shows you how good the flashes are.
Another testament to the strong utility. Remember the last time the MONGOLZ tried to hit up this A site, it was that Silu's short side Rob's in-apps defense that just pushed forward and attacked at the right time. They needed, right? The first instance of an X factor that comes out from the attack.
That's their way in.
You can boost over top of the smoke and you can still catch them off
Tem
guard.
uma
They do
blanquează.
tap it out, Messi connects onto Techno, and the 910 slides down into the site, but he still doesn't even have a kill.
The best upgrade he can find is a Tech 9. We're talking about Amalia and Mzinho.
M4 for the player over in pit.
That one buys him some time to work short, but Mzinho, he's going to have to do so much here.
Trying to go for the reposition, trying to find that timing. They hear the feet burning.
Bine!
This young gun steps up.
Mamă, Mzinho.
Apex will try to find the exits. The MONGOLZ needed an answer. And by God, we found it.
Give it up for Mzinho. Both entries with a Tech 9 out of halls. Versus who? Rops and Zaiwu of all people.
Foarte bine, Beu, Vitality. L-a prins aici pe Rops și pe Zaiwu l-a prins.
And then the lineup.
Yeah.
Pe Flamesy acolo.
So there's the sign of life. There's that half by, pull through. In a situation where Senzu and 910, the two players are finally having their best playoffs in history, are currently dropping it at one kill between them. And Mzinho gives you a little X factor to try to work with.
Lăsa-l pe Zaiwu, lăsa-l pe Zaiwu și pe Flamesy, lăsa Flamesy cel mai low.
They've taken some hits here even on this round, but went a little bit better for the T side. Now, the thing about chess is you have to wait for your opponents to go before you can go again. But Blitz, in this fluid game of Counter-Strike, he can create an explosive game of Counter-Strike at any pace he wants. That's what Vitality called the Mongols before this match took place. They have to be ready on all fronts. We see that early hall smoke. Map control throughout the series has been pretty good for the Mongols. They paid inside a middle for Dust 2, but they never stopped trying to take it. And they overall owned it on Mirage.
This is the change up in the A setup in anticipation of another attempt to take down this bomb site. Messi's going to get flashed in.
Oh, Messi.
There's no answer back. Robs leans further away from his earlier perch positions. Saiwu over towards the outside turns just in.
Oh, bine. Oh.
2 versus 2 with the B-site defenders halfway here. Flamesy still playing around on Arc. In the time that it'll take Apex to get into play, Flamesy takes a glance over towards the front of brackets.
910's going graveyard. This is a big... Oh, he runs back, actually.
Still with 0 kills. Gets a flash of the presence over towards the library. Apex just dancing with the devil. 910 wounded down to 32. Flamesy getting ever closer. Apex getting away with a robbery.
Senzu! Nu pot să cred. Nu pot să cred.
Shot out from the library, scaled with every single miss to follow. 910 had his best chance on that last shot and couldn't put it together. Too much pressure from Apex.
So the change up here for Vitality is to throw Mezzi in the front, and it still doesn't get what they need.
Yeah. Oh.
How many times is 910 gonna not shoot Apex?
That was the chance. Can't say he didn't put himself in a good spot.
Phenomenal.
Oh. Incredible shooting from the captain. Mongols running through these timeouts.
Avea oare multe timeout-uri.
SAF is certainly not over, but at this pace, you can't drop those 2v2s when you have the sight.
Văd ce semne pot să facă ăștia, gen.
The final map of the season.
What a treat. Vitality's starting to feel a little confident with this consecutive A pressure that's been coming out.
That's where the problem with them, playing against them, they're so hard to condition. I mean, if they can work 3-4 times in a row, they'll still try to go for it.
I was thinking to myself, maybe they think that Mongols have less than they do. Trying to get aggressive like that.
They're really focusing on A. They put a lot into that single Molotov that came down.
Who's on the scene now. Claims he gets that support system. For a series they've had a lot of pokes and prods in the middles of the round. Inferno felt like at first Vitality just wanted to react, but this round, I mean, that is an opening gambit that pays off into ults.
Vitality, câștigă Vitality.
Flames is the guy you can leave alone in B. Every team he's ever played on, he's played Banana, oftentimes by himself. He's very good shoulder spotting, not dying to ops, making sure to use his utility perfectly. So good at getting those one-ways off back in CSGO. Someone so young, won so much. And after this map, if he wins, we'll grab that chip. Not something you want to think about, but...
Slides out when he has to, gives himself a flash to do it again.
Whoa!
Dodge that flash, so the trade is good, if not a little delayed. We're going to have pressure on this site again. You've got Apex within it. You've got Robs over towards the pit.
Dacă nu merge, da, îi țin
Towards spawn. And the off chance that they try to take it into CT.
Whoa!
Apex going to have to go massive again. And he's getting in with the damage. The fast bridge position. No! He's tapping into something integral.
He's brutalizing them. He's playing like the champion that he is versus every generation's IGLs in this game. He's played against them all. When they played against Na'Vi, Rob said he's more nervous to play against Na'Vi because they weren't used to it. Apex said, I know how to play against Blaze teams. He can tap into that history. He's the one who won't get nervous.
Foarte bine Apex aici.
Pronax, Fallen, Kerrigan, Glaive, he has seen it all.
And so they reach 7 rounds. An elusive score for Inferno in Austin. Tons of utility pressure yet again as the Mongols limp towards this banana. And we see this more and more confident Vitality starting to grow across the map from the mid-push of last round into the double up on banana. Very passive here from Techno, but they're going to go into the boost. Off of the reload, Techno slides back beneath. They don't know. But he is barely standing. And his timing could be to a T. Unsure about the boost. It's a fast recovery from Flamesy, but there's still an open gate. Blitz has got the bomb out middle, waiting for this. Him and Mzinho are going to get it. Will Messi find these again from the same position as last round? Finds one and leaves.
They can keep the game alive with this round. 3-on-3. Rob's coming in from behind as usual.
And Messi's got the gas. Oh, he's not able to collect the kill. But that does give Flamesy a chance. Already a good smoke to work in front of. That's just the right amount of cover. But they're still going to play for the bracket side. They don't know. They don't know where exactly the Mongols stand.
Oh, that smoke.
That is going to leave a massive gap on top of the route that Flamesy's already created for himself. To go around the barrels. And that is already Senzu locked in. You've got half health of the two players. You've got Messi trying to tap back into his ability to watch.
Oh!
For the Mongols.
Honest, they've worked on that round to get up to the top of banana, take over control, get back to mid, all the way down to the 3v3. Every moment is a way back in for Vitality. They are there watching and trying to guard these spots. But Zaiwu goes cross-side, trying to get to the mid. Messi doesn't finish off his meal when he peeks off Arch. And this is how Mongols sustain.
Cât timp sunt live, mă? 2 ore 25. Bă, eu imediat ating 3 ore. Dacă mai bagă ăștia multe time-out-uri în bac,
They'll force a timeout from Vitality for once.
Stăm aici ca să vedem.
So while that B site looks under lock and key, there is a chink in the armor of the A site defense.
Mongolezii ăsta.
They found the gap, and they're really successful at taking brackets. You can see that Vitality have shaped up a lot on B. I mean, counting up this utility damage, it's gone swimmingly this entire half, but almost every single time they find a way to get their trades or get up mid. It's only that one anti-eco that got crushed.
Fire beneath them.
Oh!
Get some of the util out.
Acoperiți acolo.
While they've taken over bracket, we've had Vitality attack it into ults. Had Messi maybe get a little too repetitive from that corner. The repetition will cause hesitation for the Mongols in this round. Very quickly, Apex is calling the troops over. They want to bolster this bomb site before the follow-through comes out, because you've said it, bracket looks good for the Mongols. They have taken it over entirely yet again with a minute on this clock.
They've got an interesting defense. I mean, they're on the perimeter. They're stopping what could be a B play. It feels like that Apex is worried about a split coming this direction, but it's not. It's going to be a full wrap. Zaiwu might get full contact, but on a sliver angle, he'll actually try to rotate around. Now it's on Messi once again. Rob in the mid-kit to support it.
Zaiwu, Hail Mary. Drops head down in a little bit for now. Mzinho about to emerge out from the apartments, and Robs is going to be standing down beneath him. Messi looks like a shell.
Robs, oh, Mzinho.
What is happening?
Messi.
Another no-scope. Going gut shot to gut shot, back and forth. Finally a man advantage for the retake. We've seen it come out.
Oh, no, Zeze.
For 9-10 makes a world of difference. He has second thoughts. A chance to reload that off. But the element of surprise. It's coming out from Apex. And he will catch Mzinho. So now with 11 HP, he is going to have to pull this out from the same place. Apex found his impact. Fantastic flash.
Mort. E gata.
Vitality take 8.
The flank round was so perfect there from Apex to come up through the halls. As you can see from Mzinho, he missed the one moment. Like ships in the night, Apex got up into Boiler. That was the moment where 9-10's dished onto the site. He gets flanked from behind it. That's a shot that Zaiwu hit.
Oh, patru o să ia.
It's not the only one that he tried to send through smoke, but it's sure as hell the one he needed. And I mean, this map is going to be a statement for Apex if he is able to keep up this ability.
Again, the CTs were close by, but as soon as Mongols had them on the outside of that smoke, on Library, out in CT.
You are fucking insane! I want this face up with you, boys! Let's go!
Boys, fucking get it, boys.
Hear the ecstasy. The party over there for Vitality, keeping the energy up. And look at Apex go, 15-4.
Chance of Banana steps up to the test. A little bit delayed with the smoke down. And so the recovery for the Mongols. Again, just cheesing the side of these smokes, getting away with something, trying to head back towards middle.
I'd love to see the head-to-head between Mzinho and the 8 players, whoever it is. Robs, Zaibu, he's getting out there.
Oh, God, roll this into momentum. Zaibu floating around. Robs, this
gets back here.
Oh, ce surpriză le face Rob. Oh! Whoa! Okay.
And with the smoke in front, Venti opens. Bomb plant in the middle, and 910 has to cover. There's a good amount of health now this time. He only has 2 kills on this third map. 910's performance is betraying him. The stars of the Mongols that got them here have bottomed out. It is now or never. 910 unable.
Oh, nu mai nou.
There's their 9.
Nu mai nou. E 9-3.
12 rounds of play, 6 rounds of a lead, a major on the line.
Vitality mai trebuie 4 runi și gata. Minut și 40. Un minut. Secunde.
So it's a marked improvement out of the Vitality camp, but it is still in the back of their minds, the beast that they have to overcome. Knowing Inferno is where they have failed in Austin. If Vitality want to grab that crown jewel, they need to close this game, and they've got to do it against this crowd. Austin, the final half of your major begins.
You guys have done just as well as the players to make this feel amazing, maybe even better.
Hai,
Now
Vitality,
Mongols
hai.
look for a pistol
Nu mai
to
au
give
șansă,
themselves
Mongoles. Ce șansă mai au?
a fair shot at the comeback. That's what Blitz is hoping for. a chance to call rifle rounds. To show that they can match what Legacy and what Mouse did to Vitality already at this event. A map that they have gone the distance on versus Vitality.
First and foremost, smoked off of Brackets. Brackets was such a key piece of the Mongols T side. For better or not, ooh, Blitz taking early damage. Might not bode well, but you've got Emidinho.
Oh, bravo mesmo.
9-10 up next.
Oh!
Up the site again. It is Mezzi to step up.
Oh, they absolutely ran through that, Mezzi. 16 and 8 off this 3K. 2 players left alive here for the Mongols.
Senzu takes a look towards Pit.
Oh, Senzu.
And they will cut the head off this snake. Vitality.
Bernie, if they win this, man. Winning a 2v4 retake on the A side, it's unheard of.
Nobody slithering here for Vitality. They just lock into their corners. They allow the retake to come to them. Senzu gets another.
Oh!
It may have been opened up.
Încă 3 runde.
But it's Vitality stars to shut it down. Double digits in an instant.
They picked great spots. Mezzi came through, a player we've been talking about in highlight moments more than we ever have in his career. Somebody who, in his initiation to Vitality, was just their fifth best player. Just a guy who seemed like a great presence, who was decent at anchoring, but struggled to find that chemistry when Spinks was on the team. Now he has really blossomed. He takes control. He wins rounds by himself. He pulls out clutches, and we can see what he does with the pistols.
Gonna try to get aggressive through that smoke. Blitz actually gets killed on the fallback. This is Vitality with 2 max 10s, and this could be a quick one. MP9 into the
Zaiwu.
Straight up taken down by Zaiwu. And what a beautiful moment this could be for the formula of Vitality, because we haven't had to say his name too often. 8 frags on this third map as he watches his teammates move past him. Taking over versus the Mongols. They now sit pretty in a 5v3, and Vitality, with a wealth of experience, know how to avoid these sorts of mistakes.
Mongols may be a young team, but Vitality made moves to make their team younger too, and that was a risk at the time. A risk that has certainly paid off. These have become players that you can trust in any circumstances. Looking for a chip to finish their season. I'm sure it would almost feel like if they didn't win this, nothing mattered at all.
Oh!
But with this run, Vitality could be the best in 6 years that we've seen from any rosters.
You can see just how safe they are, escorting Robs to get that bomb over towards B. It's the beauty of the change the Valve gave us by putting this event at the end of the season. Everybody plays towards the major. And while Vitality have blown our minds with their consistency and results throughout this season, we have slowly started to see them look more human the closer they got to this final hurdle. It is poetic that Inferno's where this ends.
Yes, indeed. And Rops will be forever remembered as the difference. Before Vitality, everybody knew he was that thoroughbred star role player, made space on maps, didn't need extra help when he anchored, but it never became so clear since he joined this team how quickly they took off.
Whoa!
The anchor you cannot replace. So for the Mongols, we'll find out now if the lights are too bright. One map in the series. But then they saw the finish line. And ironically, that's when it gets the farthest away.
Final timeout called by Mara. For the first time ever, when they were whooping Vitality, we started to see Senzu smile. We started to see emotions break through for the Mongols. Something that somehow, some way, through trials and tribulation, they have always kept to themselves. The youngest ever team to make it to a major finals.
Oh, man. Making history from so many different perspectives. They have so much to be proud of. But when you're this close, and you've given yourself this much of a chance, you have the biggest threat in the grand finals. Take the pressure off. Play the good CS we saw in map 1. got nothing else to do today. I saw a sign in the crowd that said he has to play one round at a time. They've got to dig into that mental space. Same one that got them to this final. Already their best result this year.
Storms his way through Banana, sends that frag grenade deep onto Senzu. He's going to have to deal with the chip damage now.
Oh, Zaiwu.
It takes the greatest teams in history a long time to learn how to win. Look at Astralis. 2024 was a year by disappointment for Vitality and yet promise. The thought of Mongols pulling this one out of the hat would have been nothing shy of a Cinderella story. And Senzu tries to tap into that fairy tale with a smoke spam back site at least. A hope holding off his B site. Bomb yet to be planted and smoke soon to fade. And there is more utility where that first one came from. If the Mongols want to swing at this, now feels like the time. But they're going to let Mzinho get into the flank first, and as he gets ever closer, he's going to make contact versus Daiwu, who has the advantage of the Khalil. Damage goes both directions, but the Mongols have to make a difficult decision. Do you try? Do you put your entire major on the line? Dreams wielded in this clutch attempt towards B, shut down by the best. 9 versus 3
Ce v-am spus?
Vitality will secure
Ce overtime?
9 championship
Ce
points.
overtime?
You see the breath that Apex takes after this moment. Zaiwu smile on his face. The two young players on the right enjoying this, contributing so much.
Nu pot să-i bați pe Vitality.
The fantasy season. Vitality might be able to complete it here and now in front of this crowd. Something that we didn't think was possible in CS2, to put on an era.
Moare Apex. Oh!
To the process. That one goes down towards middle, so a successful endeavor out for the Mongols on B. Every round they play from here on out will be without the score in mind. Counter-Strike is played round by round. Kill by kill, flip by flip. Couple more kills.
Flamesy.
These rifles
care poate
that they have barely found in their hands
fie speranța la Vitality.
could damn well extend play. Flamesy, birthday boy.
Speranța lui Vitality.
What's a 9-round comeback?
S-ar putea să fie un comeback al lui Flamesy.
He doesn't see a way back in.
E runda la Mongols. Le-o dat runda pe gratis. Nu știu de ce, dar...
There's two worlds that we live in right now. One where Vitality have to stew in the thought that, oh, guns respond. We've not been able to break through on Inferno, or the other, where everything feels like it's almost secured. One final round win here for Vitality.
Ce le-o dat runda
Knowing Apex
gratis
and his swagger and the way he came through that floor with a middle finger and a phone in hand.
Nu am să întreb absolut.
Yeah, he's done this before.
Ce le-o dat runda gratis aici.
That's what that says to me.
Nu prea mai este. 12.
Opens up that opening kill. 9-10 will seize the day.
Hai.
It's 1 down, 8 to go.
Încă un timeout! M-a omorât cu timeout-ul 2 ori 42.
Into a timeout. Mara will get a second, final chance to speak here.
De la 10 nu m-am dus la calculator.
Apex has a number of jobs. Keep his team steady emotionally, to come through with a good game plan to make sure everybody is playing their roles right. Most importantly, to continue to play to win. That looked shaken in the first half of the game. Started 0-7, 0-8. Gets this famous 2K. Maybe he gets back online. Maybe it's too late. Like you said,
Bun.
you have to learn how to win.
You gotta learn how to dig yourself out of the depths.
Niciun overtime.
10 and Senzu don't want to wake up and look at themselves in the mirror tomorrow and remember this map 3, not with the ratings they currently have secured. You gotta play to win if you want it. And you can see Blitz doing exactly that with this quick little look down mid, but nothing over towards alt for him to pull on. I'll peel it back. Sold. That's what they're looking for. Mezzi's got the fast answer. How many more times is Mezzi going to be the key to overwhelming sights?
I don't think anyone's overtaking him right now. 19 and 10, still going. Aging like wine in this match. Can't decide what utility to use here at the top of Banana.
You got the Mongols split in a minute. You got their backs against the ropes.
9-10. Up to the plate, whether he knows it or not.
Sits here with a flash and incendiary for Mzinho. Mzinho's going to try to go for the peak, and he's going to kill himself too.
Oh! Nu pot să cred! Bă, Mzinho! Bă, ce copil! Bă, ce copil!
One foot in front of the other. Fantastic plays here. Great trade back from Mezzi, but a straight transfer into another. Beautifully done. Full control of the brackets. 7 rounds to go.
You can see that Mongols tethering going down so nicely, ready to respond to the action.
They're buying 9-10 time. He gets on the up now.
Oh!
Remember where he was, folks. 4 kills, 16
Ce aveți, mă, Vitality acum, bă? Bă!
But the answer's already coming through. Flamesy, that's a couple of kills. That is a vacant A-bomb site, but obviously at the moment they don't know it. 9-10 was floating around here, so they're thinking he's not too far off. It would be an absolute tragedy for this to be the round that slips through their hands.
We want to fully avoid this. Rob's looking for an upgrade, it feels like.
No way Flamesy does it all, right? There's no world where he goes beyond these 2 kills.
They know he's around here.
That M4 over towards the library. Rob soon to jump down into the site.
Oh!
That is a trio of frags. He is trying to take over the server on his day. 9-10 into the bomb site. Missed shot. And now we're talking about a post plant with an incredibly clutch player still alive.
This could be it.
Helping hands offered over by Rob. A round opened by Flamesy.
Techno approaching 100 HP, all the weight of the world on his shoulders.
So much clutch in his coffers, we know it. The vitality from the space. And nobody's gonna swing just yet. They take their time. Sweet time. Into the 2.
Nu pot să cred! Nu pot să cred! Bă, ce moment ratat! Bă, ce moment ratat am avut acolo.
Always. From Mirage to here.
O să stau aici până în...
When you anchor, it's your responsibility to put up rounds like
Bă, să fie overtime.
And we've seen Techno have his bad days. But right now he's looking like Magic's in Shanghai with these moments.
Vitality. Să emoționa Vitality de la ultima rundă. Hai, gândiți-vă că e 5-5 acum. Gândiți-vă că e 6-6. Chit că e... Aveți... Deci și diferență de 6, da.
9-10 showed you promise at the start of that.
Hai, mă, Vitality.
9-10 had you believing, but he also missed a critical shot that could have cost them this game.
Will Vitality think about the fact that they gave that away so close to the trophy? This is one more chance that 9-10 needed. Or will it rest on a miss?
Oh!
Down inside of the halls.
No easy feat killing Robs inside the apartments. But what we haven't seen is this B-site truly tested. And so they start to lean over.
Oh!
Down. Senzu gives up his position with the trajectory of that nade. And he thinks about it. It's at the very least allowed 1 to cross over. That is Mezzi with putting on site. That is the bomb to follow suit.
2 CTs still on the A site. They don't believe this just yet. Smoke will go down and so will the plant.
Zaiwu's gonna plant it.
Claims he takes a lot of damage.
Vitality no longer hands busy. 3 rounds down. It was 6 to go.
Asta.
And it is all hands on deck for the Mongols.
E
It is only flash.
E gata, Vitali.
Back into the kill feed. It is another triple from the young star of Vitality. Tyler's going to lean back into the site. Mezzi awaiting. Now he sees the barrel. He's got himself the kill. And so one frag out. 9-10 from the bottom of the scoreboard.
Și gata, mă, e gata, e gata, Vitality, 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 câștigă majorul, câștigă majorul. Gata, bravo Mongols, bravo, nu-i problemă, bravo băi, bine mă. Am ăsta a fost live-ul, nu mai pot. Nu mai pot, gata. 2 ore 50. Ăsta a fost live-ul, vă mulțumesc. Bravo, Vitali.
And they didn't flub it at the final hurdle. A fantastic attempt from the Mongols.